Hey y'all, I'm an I-78. We are back. Today we are going to cover Donald Trump's rally in Atlanta, Georgia. This is going to be interesting because this is actually a state that he did not win the last time he ran for president. As we all know, there is a large black population in Atlanta, so it's going to be interesting to see how he is received by the black community. So we are going to go ahead and get into this. Just a sec.
Need to. I'm going to get out there and push this thing across the line in first place, and I'm going to need you to be standing right there with me. So, do not, under any circumstances, let anything get between you and getting your vote counted. Go vote early. If you got to vote absentee, get it in early. Do not wait, y'all. I don't care if you're a long-haul trucker, a long-distance runner, or an all-night hunter. You make sure you go vote, you get that ballot in, you get it mailed in way before the deadline. We need you on this. Now listen to me, y'all. I know we got problems at the post office.
Oh,
we do.
Miss you too.
I've been over there trying to help improve that thing. And I'm going to tell you something else. I like my mail carrier. But every once in a while, that management and them bureaucrats up there, y'all, they need to see what a size 12 boot looks like. And let's talk about some problems. Because, boy, I tell you what, Kamala Harris, man, that woman's a mess. The world is blowing up. Our country's going down the toilet. And y'all, she makes Joe Biden look like a steady hand at the wheel. You know, Kamala Harris is like the Stacey Abrams of California. And here's what's so ironic. Stacey Abrams is the Kamala Harris of California also. And if all that don't make sense, here's all you got to remember. Georgia didn't want Stacey, and we don't want Kamala.
Well, I mean, that's kind of yeah.
There we go. Y'all, our country's been screaming to get back to the number one thing Donald Trump said he'd never get tired of, winning. That's right. Buying cars, going on vacation, buying houses. Y'all, every American, black, brown, white, 2 college degrees, no college degrees, Donald Trump's economy lifted all boats. Everybody was doing better then. Let me ask you something. If you're under the age of 35 trying to buy your first house, man, it's terrible out there. It's a mess. I don't know what's harder, figuring out who left the cocaine in the White House or getting a mortgage under 7.5%.
Real, because they were talking like that 7.5 was good. What's going on, Professor Cupcake? How are you? I appreciate you.
Hey, y'all, here's the thing now. The other side, they're not going to run on issues.
They ain't loud because they ain't concerned.
Liberal policies like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have, you can't. But this is what they are going to do. They're going to run on lies, smears, hate. The media and the left, they've spent 10 years trying to brainwash the American people into hating Donald Trump. A man, y'all, that literally took a bullet for this country. We do. And I'm going to tell you something. Trump's not running against Kamala Harris. And it won't matter how many times they change the nominee through this little soft coup process. It's not an election. Wasn't an election. As a matter of fact, I think we ought to change your name to the Undemocratic Party. Trump's running against the regime, y'all. That's right. A socialistic, big government, control everything about you, power-hungry, woke regime. They hate him. But y'all, Trump loves you. Now, y'all, real quick, I got to say something about my buddy, JD. I was trying to get JD to let me write a sequel. I was going to call it the Redneck Elegy. But I was told there was already a movie made like that. It's called Smokey and the Bandit. No, I'm kidding. Listen,
I just thought
JD was a bold pick and a fantastic addition to this ticket. I've had the opportunity to work with JD some in Congress on the Hill, and this guy is a sharp tactician. America First policy. He can help push that policy on the Hill, and we're going to need him come January 1st next year. Now, let's talk about Congress for a second, real quick. Congress, y'all, is made up with around 65% of the time is up. Republican conference is made up about 65% of America First Republicans. That's why I'm going to spend my time between now and November out there growing that majority. That's right. So when we get our captain back on the ship, he's going to have the largest majority of America First members in Congress that we have ever had. Y'all, we're going to do some things. We're going to secure that border. We are going to stop American families from losing sons and daughters to these illegal. That's right, illegal aliens that are out there invading our country. We're going to stop the gangs. We're going to stop the fentanyl. We're going to stop the sex trafficking. Everything that these outside invaders are doing to destroy America, we're going to stop the destruction of this country. We put Donald Trump and JD Vance in the White House, and we have a Congress that is actually going to have his back this time. Now, I got to hurry, but I got one more thing I want to say. I was very proud to sponsor the Lake and Riley Act. You know, we dropped that bill on a Friday, got it out of rules on Tuesday, and we passed that thing through the House on Thursday. And y'all, we had 37 Democrats go with us on that bill. That's how freaking bad that border is down there. But our border czar, Kamala Harris, stood right here, y'all, earlier this week. And y'all, she never even mentioned her name. Never mentioned her. That's a disgrace. Let me tell you something. If Kamala Harris really wanted to win Georgia, she'd get right over there and she'd tell those two U.S. senators, Warnock and Ossoff, to get off their butt, pass this common sense legislation out of the Senate.
They're not talking about sex trafficking.
Here's the last words, I promise. Last words. Y'all, I was there in 2016. Man, whew, I could feel the energy. You could feel it. And I've been out there with Trump, Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, doing whatever we can to make sure that Donald Trump gets back in that White House.
Prostitution,
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
A brothel. They don't mean the people.
Freaking lines are longer this time.
But they're against
the crowds are larger this time. Y'all, we have learned our lesson. We are back with a vengeance. We're gonna win, and we're gonna take our country back.
Hey, Phoenix Foundation, how are you? We said Kamala stole me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay, I didn't think we was gonna make MTG, but I'm glad we did.
Cause it was my time to take down the kingdom, call out the lions. Got a jail on my heart from the pessimist. Got those nails in my mouth for impressionists. Spent too much money on a therapist. Couldn't fix me, accepted it. Gladiator, gladiator, gladiator. Get to fight with the gods, I'm a giant slayer.
Oh, Georgia. This is home sweet home. This is home. I love you. I love every single one of you. I tell you what, this feels like a room full of friends and family. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. And Georgia, I really want to talk to you about the serious mission that all of us are on together. This has nothing to do with our skin color, our gender, our politics. It has nothing to do with any of that. This is about our mission with our home state, because let me tell you all, the road to the White House goes directly through the state of Georgia.
That's a two-sided situation. Jasmine ain't no victim.
And our mission is clear. We remember back in 2016 when Donald Trump stepped on the stage in the Republican primary election, and he took a sledgehammer to the Washington establishment. And the crime he really committed in 2016 was defeating Hillary Clinton. And the deep state and the globalists and the Washington elite, they have been after him ever since. They've come after that man with lie after lie, smear after smear, from the Russia hoax to impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2. They came after President Trump. And then our election, Georgia, was stolen from us. That's right. Right down the road from here with a water main break. That's right. And then it all changed. And we watched the Democrats shut this country down and destroy our freedoms over a virus that came from China.
I don't know about that part, man. I don't know about that.
We watched the Democrats, Kamala Harris herself, support riots in city streets across America, burning, looting, and taking away the rights from Americans. Kamala Harris shared a bail bond link to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to put criminal rioters back on the streets that murdered and looted and caused chaos. That's right.
That kind of is true. A couple of them.
And we've seen Kamala Harris stand side by side with Joe Biden, the dementia-ridden president, and we've watched them destroy America for nearly 4 years now. This is a shame. Today in America, Senior citizens are struggling between paying their rent and buying their medications. Today in America, young people are having to face the very idea they may never be able to afford a new home or the American dream. Today in America, there's a steady invasion at the southern border every single day, and 10 to 20 million of illegal aliens have been brought into this country, and you, the American taxpayer, are being forced to pay for it. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And innocent Americans like Laken Riley, but Laken Riley's not the only one. She is the face of here in Georgia, but Americans all over the country are the victim of illegal alien crimes, rape, murder, and mayhem, and fentanyl poisoning.
Stand out among, the
this
others,
is Kamala Harris's America. We have lived it for nearly 4 years.
The time that she was reported missing.
This is what the Democrats are doing to us. And you know what? The self-declared fourth branch of the government, the legacy media, what are they doing?
That's the problem. They do it everywhere.
They are lying about everything. They promote their candidates. They promote the destruction of America through Democrat policies, and they use their powerful platforms to do it. Are we going to allow this to continue? The real danger we face is this. The Democrats are the party destroying democracy. They waged a coup against Joe Biden, and then they held a coronation for Kamala Harris and declared her the Democrat candidate for president. And not a single Democrat voter has voted for this to happen.
That law. They get everything under the sun here in North Carolina.
But here's our job, Georgia. Pay close attention. Pay close attention. You know, we've had an easy life. We have for decades now. It's been easy to check out, go to work, enjoy your life, do normal, regular people things. But let me inform you of something tough. We don't have that convenience anymore. Georgia, I'm going to tell you something. We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's right. Our freedoms, our democracy, our great republic is that weight and responsibility is on our shoulders. That responsibility belongs to this generation. And that means what our responsibility is, Georgia, is we have to show up. You have to have those tough conversations with your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your neighbors. You have to convince them to vote, because I have a little dirty secret to tell you. We have too many people in Georgia that are conservatives, they're MAGA, they're Trump supporters, they're Republicans, but guess what they don't do? They don't vote. They do not vote. Let me tell you, President Trump not only has given up an incredibly extraordinary life that he created for himself and his family. He was our president for 4 years. He has been fighting for the past nearly 4 years to come back to save America. And President Trump, that's right. But not only has he been doing this, all of this for you, he took a bullet for you. He took a bullet for you, and in that moment, we found out who Donald Trump is. Was he a man that stayed on the ground and allowed himself to be swept away under the cover? No. Donald Donald Trump stood up, raised his fist in the air, and he said, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, Vance is speaking. Yeah, he's coming up next.
And Georgia, that's what we will do all the way to the election on November 5th. We will fight, 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 fight. That's right. Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it.
Let's see if you get the
Every
sound
single
bite.
one of you that has a cell phone in this room, every single person watching right now, go to the website, TrumpForce47.com. TrumpForce47.com. It is your responsibility, everyone in this room, it is your responsibility watching this rally right now to find a way to sign up, find a way to protect our elections in Georgia, find a way to be a Trump captain, find a way to volunteer. It's your job, your responsibility, because the road to the White House goes straight through Georgia, and we're going to win. We're going to fight. We're going to save America.
Yeah, Georgia's not rolling blue twice. That's a telltale
Let's
sign.
go, Georgia. Let's go. Let's bring it home for President Trump. Let's save America. God bless you. God bless America. God bless President Trump.
To the start of the climb, faced with an army of vipers and lions, I had to keep on reaching up, cause it was my time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Bert Jones.
Bert, you got to put some better music for this right here.
I like that. Coming out to AC/DC, I like that. I might have to go tape my ankles. That reminds me of my playing days right there. So,
Well, yeah, Queen, they said Trump about
how's everybody doing today?
About 5:30 or so.
There's still people piling in right now. There's still people piling in right now. It's unbelievable. If you don't think Georgia's Trump country,
No, we just had one
you've got
the other
something
day.
coming to you now. Now, please, nobody in this room confuse me. I'm Bert Jones. I'm Lieutenant Governor of this great state of Georgia. Please, I don't want anybody confuse me with the past Lieutenant Governor who was here helping Kamala Harris. I know we're about the same age, about the same height, and got, you know, hairs. He looks like he probably darkens his hair a little bit, but somebody asked me what I thought about that. I was like, you know, sometimes you just can't fix
It was
stupid.
more of
So
a,
you can't worry
than an
about it.
actual rally. 'Cause, I mean, it was outside.
But they had a big crowd here. They had a big crowd, Kamala and them, and they had some entertainment here. They were twerking and doing everything they could. And,
Yeah, that shit was.
you know, I even heard Kamala. She came out with her version of the Southern accent, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's get this party started, y'all. But the thing was that what the media didn't tell you is after that entertainment was over with, people started filing out of that place. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I do, because this is what the White House reminds me of as far as musical talent is concerned. It reminds me of the group Milli Vanilli. Do y'all remember Milli Vanilli?
Man, don't do that, because child, one of them dead. Don't do that.
You know, it was two guys. They were, you know, claimed to
And they
be
didn't
from,
want to do that
they
in the
claimed to
first
be
place.
R&B German artists, even though they had British accents, and they were born in Madrid or something like that.
Ain't bored.
But sound a little bit like Kamala. But
don't give a shit about him.
But what was funny is you know, they fooled the country for about 4 years with their entertainment. They couldn't sing, they couldn't write, they had zero talent.
But
it took 4 years for everybody to figure out who they really were. Milli Vanilli is what we have in the White House right now. But because I can tell you right now, they're not running this country right now. Those two are not running this country. The only difference between the two really is when we found out about Milli Vanilli, the media jumped all over them. When they found out that the current Biden-Harris administration weren't really running the country, they've all of a sudden circled the wagons for them, which tells me they're in on it. And I would tell you this right now. I was on my way up here, and my wife asked me, she said, no, my wife Jan asked me, she goes, now you're not just going to sit up there and bash the current administration all the time. I said, well, maybe just a little bit.
I was waiting.
She said, you need to tell them about why you have always been for Donald J. Trump since 2016. I said, I was one of the first ones, actually I was the first one to endorse him in Georgia in 2016. I co-chaired his campaign in 2016, did it again in 2020, going to do it here in 24. But the whole reason why I did it was I said, this country needs a businessman. This country needs something different than the same old politicians that we have.
Sidebar, y'all. I got the Olympics.
And for the first time in our lifetimes, we have an opportunity to see two administrations who've actually done the job. And we get to interview them for what they've done. The businessman Donald Trump, when he was in office, we were energy independent. Gasoline was $1.80 a gallon. It's $3.50 and rising right now. When our businessman Donald Trump was in the White House, groceries were 40% less than what they are right now. I got my agricultural chairman here somewhere, Russ Goodman. Russ Goodman told me, he said, be sure you tell everybody grits is 40% higher right now. Stand up, Russ.
Grits are high as hell. I ain't been sitting here tell y'all no lie. Grits high.
Our border was secure. Right now, we've got 15 million. We think 15 million. It could be more than that. 15 million illegals here. But guess what your reward is? Guess what? You get to pay. You get to pay for their medical costs, their schooling. They get a little allowance. Yeah. Right. Congratulations, right? Yeah. It was secure when we had the businessman Donald Trump in the room. We also were respected around the world too.
Like he was giving them real talk this morning. Real talk. Speaking of that, take he hold on, because this dude ain't he ain't really talking about nothing of no significance. Listen, y'all. The he-she over there at the Olympics, where the Italian girl was like, yeah, I ain't never been hit like this before. Why he about to get a medal? He about to get a whole medal in damn women's boxing. Done knocked some woman out. I don't know why she got in the ring with his ass, but it wouldn't have been none of me. But yeah, he about to get a whole medal in women's gymnastics. Ain't that some foolery? Yes, I read that about an hour and a half ago. I was like, you have got to be joking. The worst he can do is get a bronze. That's the worst he can do, no matter what else happened. I'm like, that don't even make no sense. Something got to be done. Something got to be done. This don't make no sense.
And 3 weeks ago, I usually
this will keep on. We ain't talking about
and wiped himself off. And as they were trying to rush him off, he said, "No, wait a minute." And he looked at the ground right here, and he said, "You fight, you fight, you fight." Right?
Hey, Amanda, how you been?
Yep. I want to tell y'all something. If the hair on your neck didn't stand up when he did that, there's just something you need to check your pulse because you're already dead. So, but that's the exact kind of person you want running your company.
Okay,
you want heading up your team. That's the exact kind of person
there is a man
you want to have as your leader of the free world.
You know what I'm saying? The chromosomes told a different story. In one fight, the opponent lasted about 46 seconds. She was like, "I can't do this. I ain't never been hit like this before."
Now I'll leave you with this right now, and I'll just say this
gender
simple as I can.
Qualifications in a couple other.
Trump's been fighting for you. Trump's been fighting for me.
They still let this
it's time that we start fighting for Trump.
Olympics, and they about to get Olympics. You got a man beating women and get ready to get a medal.
We're going to win in November. We're going to win here in Georgia. We're going to make this state red again.
Over there, and y'all trying to
and we can't do it without your help. God
y'all, it's a Trump. Come on, Vance gonna be a bunch of music. I say a little bit of editing. What'd you say, Erica? Oh wow, he's a man being transgender but fighting. Yeah, child, that woman. She 46 seconds. She was like, "I ain't never been hit like this, and I'm not doing it because I don't think I'm gonna make it." And I was reading a couple of days ago. I think it was at the qualifiers, like the world championships or whatever. It was another transgender in there fighting a woman, and that woman died from her injuries. We good. Miss me with all of that right there. So y'all know this going on, and you still letting it ride? No, I can't be in support of that. This is true. What's real and what you want to be real are two different things. Hi, Kyle. How are you? Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do it. Guess I'll let him talk.
Our support for Donald Trump. It's amazing, and we're still waiting for him to come on. So
we have done our research.
It's been such a good experience, and we're still waiting for the best part.
Exactly. So
we got two labs to say that's the main.
The upper bowl and the floor are all packed, and if there's a few seats left, they soon will be packed as well.
Oh yeah.
There is a screen outside for people that won't be able to get in. So this is just an overflow crowd, literally here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we received some news earlier. Someone from our network sent us news about the debate situation with Kamala Harris and President Trump at September 4th or September 10th, and which network, ABC, fake news, or whatever. So
you'll be very surprised by this.
So at this point, President Trump is running September 4th on Fox.
And I need to
do some research
on this.
September 10th on fake news, ABC. So we'll have to see how that transpires and what will happen there between the leader of the free world, Donald Trump,
through
the person that was
September 4th,
installed,
debate.
literally, Harris.
And
One was chosen by
because,
the American people, the other was installed by an establishment.
ABC
So
agreed to
interesting
let it
how that
go,
happens.
and another network
And the fact
picked
that
it
you
up.
were not only
Now
the
Kamala
fact that
won.
you can sit there and fight back this debate choice where it's at. First of all, the first debate when we thought it was going to be Biden, he chose everything where it was. No audience could be there, who the moderators were, and Trump agreed. So then when we're on the flip side of that, and Trump says Fox News, these are the moderators. You want to sit there and be like, no, you weren't even the pick. No one voted you in, and you have the audacity to argue it. That's insane to me.
Hey, that's a mic drop right there.
Yeah, I don't need no
I know,
break.
it's frustrating.
No, I don't think
Frustrating because
nobody's
nobody
gonna
voted for you, and you're going to sit there and make demands. Like, at the very
We still
least,
have- I still
be
owe y'all a
cordial with
review on
everything.
that.
Be able to be someone who's you're able to work
I'm gonna
with
roll,
because you weren't even
we're
picked
gonna
by
do 2 on
anybody that matters. Like,
And unfortunately,
We'll
she
do her
is a
Atlanta and
radical
Houston.
leftist
Houston
and represents
speech
only a
was the
few
reason
people.
she
In my
couldn't
opinion,
participate
she only views a few.
in the,
Only
National,
represents a few people in this
Association
country.
of Black
yeah.
Even
Journalists.
Democrats are like,
in
whoa.
Houston.
yeah, we don't rock
It's
with
down the
that.
road.
You got Bill Maher out here talking about what is going on.
Yeah.
He's a very known Democrat.
Yes.
And he's just like, what are you talking? What?
Right.
No one voted. He said, this is the funniest thing. He said that you could vote or you could put your hand up to know how many votes Kamala Harris got. You can count it on one hand if that hand had no fingers, because she never.
It's true.
She got no votes.
Exactly.
She got no votes.
Exactly.
And then Joe,
Exactly.
selected her for the VP. She was definitely a DEI hire. And then he drops out and goes, "Hey, there you go."
Now, what,
Exactly.
what's tripping
Ridiculous.
We
me
were
out
talking
is
before
the
and
way,
giving so
you know
much
what I'm
credit to
saying,
President Trump for the fake news,
Black people
coining
and
that
women
phrase, and it's
talk
true, right?
DEI.
But
Now
thank
y'all
God
want to
for
act like
Right
it's
Side
illegal.
Broadcasting Network some 9 years ago saw the need of covering the full speech,
Yes.
saw the need to see the crowd, interview the actual people. That, I've worked in
That's needed.
the news business for about 2 decades, right? And that's something you don't usually see, is where it's called letting it breathe. You're letting it just kind of see what's going on in the room,
Yes.
not worrying about some other news story or whatever.
Yes.
And so Right Side Broadcasting Network, our founder, of course, without
supporter. We
his
appreciate
insight on
such
that,
as yourself,
moving forward,
and Amanda,
now we have in 2024
and Tahee,
hundreds of thousands of people passing the million mark, upwards of 3.5 million saw our Grand Rapids, Michigan.
You have millions of followers that, because you're telling the truth and you're showing context and you're showing what no one else will, which is allowing people to be able to see, you said, letting it breathe, letting people see the reality of the situation. People come to these rallies. It is like a concert.
Like, y'all
People
ain't
support
tired of
this
talking.
man.
Listen,
So
these
thank you,
people been on
RSBN.
since 10
Honestly,
o'clock
we
Eastern
need
Standard
more
Time.
voices like you, and a lot of people followed suit. You see all this alternative media, all these alternative podcasts, and you pioneered that because
Yes.
people weren't doing this, and
Yes.
now you are. And it's amazing to see the fruits of your labor. Like people showing up at these rallies, people are being able to see what's at these rallies. It's great.
And glorifying God through the whole process.
Yeah.
And if you love RSBN, like I know a lot of you do, so go to stickermule.com/RSBN. Stickermule.com. You see it there on your screen. .com/RSBN. Get some gear, get some
fully
swag,
informed.
wear the
Like I
t-shirts,
said,
put the bumper stickers out there. I ordered a
couple.
couple of the RSBN stickers myself for $9. Got 10 RSBN stickers. It's a great price. About 10 to 15% of it goes to the network, because we're not bought and paid for by woke corporations. This is all about true patriotic companies, people that love freedom, love family, love friends, love God, and want freedom to continue in this earth.
Exactly. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Thank you. First one of the day. No. So anyway, stickermule.com/RSBN. Okay, so there are 94 days into the United States general election, November 5th, 94 days out. What was your thought, Titus, when President Trump won in the first administration? When he won, were you, what was your reaction?
Exactly.
Well, I had been praying like
I'm
all
showing
day
all
long, like for him to win. I was like, God, please, we need this. We cannot have Hillary. This is not going to be good for our country. This divide is insane. All the things that he says he wants to do for our country, and if he's going to do them, if he actually plays them out, then it'll be great for us. And so I'm praying, and I was the only one in my family. We all were watching it, but it was ended up didn't get announced till like 3 a.m. Eastern. I was up. I was like, I'm not going to sleep until I know the results. And when he won, I screamed top of my lungs, ran upstairs, woke my parents up, went downstairs to look at my brothers, my family, because we were all Trump supporters.
Yeah.
We were like, he won! He won! Running all around. And everyone gets up and they're running. We go to the living room. We're watching the whole Trump family come on stage and just
Project 2025 is not by the Republicans, so ain't no problem.
All of them. Well-dressed, well-spoken, well-educated, working in the business, don't have any legal issues, nothing crazy. And it's just so amazing to see the example that he set for his family, his kids, and the example he's setting for the country. I was pumped. I was so pumped.
Amazing moments in the first administration when he won.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 years later.
Ugh. If he wins this time,
oh shit show.
Or when,
well, hold on.
when
Let me rewind. 2020, we know what happened in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So, your thoughts? What was your reaction when you saw in the middle of the night certain things happening, and then it went to Joe Biden?
So you know what happened? I was living in Texas at the time. I was at my youth pastor's house.
Child, man, did you tell these people they want to have something to say, so that's
like
what
watching
they
the
say.
results, and we're like, okay, Biden's in the lead right now. Okay, we all know, like, we're waiting on these states to come in. Because when these states results come in, we know it's going to be, blown up for Trump. We started to see the tide changing. The red wave was coming. And then it was just, wait,
for it back in
stop.
1990.
We're not doing this anymore tonight. We're going to take a break or something. I don't remember word for word, but it was really weird. The halt to it. I'd never seen that happen before. And then we're just going to pick this back up in the morning. You wake up and you've seen the graph. Everyone's seen the graph. It's just like Biden just miraculously is in an insane lead. And I was like, that's kind of weird. And then the results, I was like, there's no way. And even beforehand, I was like, there's no way Biden wins this. That guy is not there. And obviously, everyone's acknowledging it now. But at the time, he wasn't either. Yeah. He was saying things like, Truman, under pressure, and like saying words that weren't that real. And it was just, no one believed it. And so that's why I think it's fishy. And there was like, not evidence, I don't know, evidence. Right. That's up to the.
It was just really tough, too, to hear one of the networks say, Biden goes to Arizona goes to Biden. And when that happened, anyway, so let's move on to President Trump's election integrity operation at the RNC. President Trump's election integrity program at the RNC has engaged in almost 100 lawsuits in 25 states. They stopped 800,000 non-citizens from voting in New York City, sued the Biden-Harris administration for using our tax dollars for partisan voter registration, required Arizona to remove non-citizens from the voter rolls, protected mail ballots, safeguards in Michigan and Pennsylvania, and the list goes on. So the point is, in these next 94 days, is to do everything we can. And you heard MTG talk about it, about going to some certain Trump Force 47 and others out there in a sense of election integrity and security. So we all make it too big to rig, but also see the amount of people out there in America to work as hard as they can that we don't have another 2020 happen this year. Outside of that, if we have a free, fair election, I mean, it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. We need that. And I mean, the results, I love the too big to rig thing we're doing here. It's like you can sit there and try and do what you want. We don't have COVID. You don't have the mail-in ballot issue anymore. You don't have it to where we're wondering. Everyone doesn't have to do that anymore. People can go in face-to-face and vote this time around.
Yes.
And there was a lot of fishy things happening in 2020, but that's not.
Okay. So the popular opinion is that Trump lost because of everyone's fear of C-19. I was going to send you that. However, we are in 2024 and C-19 has made a resurgence. However, it appears that our current president mandate for the jab for you to be able to work is what really destroyed the economy. So we can't blame Trump for that because once C-19 was still going on and he didn't put any type of mandates in place for you to be able to work. We still haven't recovered from that. So, way I see it, And if we're using math, because you actually need to understand math to understand the economy, Trump's handling the C-19 is not a problem. It's not the problem right now. Biden's handling the C-19 is the problem. Did he say it was over? We sitting over here with a damn resurgence.
100%. So Tax Network USA is a sponsor we'd like to thank here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. If you missed filing any taxes at all, right? Tax Network USA will help you. You see that number right there on your screen, an 800 number there. Obviously, you see the website as well. They'll come alongside you. They'll help you out. They'll give you some financial peace of mind and kind of get things squared away with Tax Network USA. Always good when it's patriotic companies, Titus.
Always. It's like you just trust them more. You think you're actually going to get the best bang out of your buck. I've worked with tax companies where I'm like, there's no way that I owe money here, but somehow you're saying that I do. So I immediately lean more towards patriotic companies. For example, when I was in Texas, I had car issues. This one company would charge me, I paid $2,500 to fix my car. Within a couple weeks, you need to pay another $1,500. I went to this one place. They had a Trump flag. I used to live right next to a Trump flag. Went in there. I was charged $1,500 from another automotive company. They charged me like $400, and they were honest about what actually the issue was. And I think that's because they were patriotic. I think it's because they genuinely want to live the American dream, do the right thing, and weren't about let me just steal your money from you. And so, patriotic companies, 100%, I will go with them before I go anywhere else.
There you go. So Tax Network USA, a lot of great sponsors and partners here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. So give them a try as well. And we'll get to some more throughout the broadcast.
Yeah, I remember
As of
that,
right now,
I
we're waiting for the Ohio Senator and Vice Presidential nominee, JD Vance, to take the stage. And then, of course, following that, President Donald J. Trump. Now, you saw President Trump from Grand Rapids to West Palm the other day.
Yeah.
And you were at the People's Convention with TPUSA in Detroit, right?
Yeah, I've seen him like 3 times in the last year.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? But it's good. And tell us what do you feel like after you hear a President Trump speech, but also being around all of these great people?
When I watch Trump speak, I just kind of feel like, being in this space of social media and you see people making videos and saying, "Oh, he's racist." They're saying, "Oh, like everyone that follows him, or they're like evil and like they're bad." And, we get vilified and characterized a certain way by certain like media publications. But going to a rally, hearing him speak, and speak with such common sense, saying 1 + 1 is 2. Like this, if we do this, this will happen. We're not going to allow these countries to steal money from us. We're not going to have bad deals with countries. We're going to fix the oil situation. We're going to drill, baby, drill. All this stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not crazy. And yes, I can be passionate about this. I can be patriotic about this. Right. And there's a guy who's been the president and who's leading millions of people into the right direction that I can look to whenever I feel like, okay, maybe, am I crazy? You know? And so I've really come here inspired and ready to go. Refueled.
A question that I can ask you can ask me, you can ask anybody this question. Let's go to JD Vance.
Go.
United States Senator JD Vance.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right, my friends. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, it is great to be in Atlanta. Hello, Georgia. In 93 days, we're going to take back our country and elect Donald J. Trump once again. It's going to start right here in Georgia. Now, let's recap the last month in political history. We have to remember, just over a month ago, President Trump wiped the floor with Joe Biden on that debate stage, exposing a massive cover-up of the president's mental incapacity. He saved America from 4 more years of the disaster of Joe Biden. And during that same time, Donald Trump accepted our own party's nomination with overwhelming support. We held the most successful convention in history. He took a bullet for this country and didn't miss a single day of work. Now, he did that in 1 month. Just imagine what he's going to do with 4 more years. Ain't that right? Now, after covering up Joe Biden's incompetence for the last 3.5 years, our friends in the media are at it again. This time, they're gaslighting us on Kamala Harris's radical record. They want to portray her as some kind of sensible moderate, despite all evidence to the contrary. Now, this is the same media that told us, remember, my friends, for 3.5 years that Joe Biden, who couldn't complete a sentence, was Albert Einstein. And now they want to tell us that Kamala Harris is Abraham Lincoln. But anybody who is too blind to see Biden's incompetence, or let's be honest, too dishonest to admit it, doesn't deserve to be commander-in-chief. Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion to the presidency of the United States. Now, the Democrat Party bosses would like to install her as their new nominee and as the next president. But remember, she has not received a single vote for president. Let's actually give Democrat primary voters some credit, because in their primary in 2020, Kamala Harris was so unpopular, she didn't even make it to the first vote being cast.
Well,
she wasn't in the top 3 in her home state of California. And the reason is Democrat voters know what every American agrees with: America is never going to elect a San Francisco liberal who's so far outside the mainstream. We're not going to elect Kamala Harris as president. Now, let us count the ways of the disastrous policies of Kamala Harris. 500,000 kids. I was at the border just a couple of days ago. 500,000 kids have been trafficked by the drug cartels because of her policies. She was the border czar. The media lies to you, but she was. Hardworking Americans cannot afford groceries because of her policies. Gas and energy are through the roof because of her policies. Housing prices are out of control because of her policies. You cannot let in 20 million illegal aliens to compete with Americans for scarce housing and then raise interest rates, which is exactly what Kamala Harris has done. And people right here in Georgia and all across the country have suffered because of it. Now, the media calls her a moderate, but there's nothing the fake news loves more than a fact check. So let's do a fact check. Kamala Harris was the most liberal United States senator during her entire time in public service. As America's border czar, Kamala Harris unleashed the worst border crisis in American history. 10 million illegal aliens have invaded this country. The total, that's what they say, that's the official number. It's probably more than that. Biden and Harris, on day 1, they suspended deportations. They stopped building the border wall. I saw it just a couple days ago. It's sitting there on the ground, ready to be finished, but Kamala Harris won't let them. They reinstated catch and release. Then they proposed amnesty for millions of illegal aliens.
Why catch them if you
Kamala Harris turned Border Patrol into a travel agency for the worst criminals and terrorists all over the world. Now, we have a different message, President Trump and I do. If you're in this country illegally, start packing your bags. You go home in 6 months.
Oh, no, it might be a tall order. There's a lot of them. I know. They've been hard on the time.
But we're not done yet. The border isn't the only thing Kamala Harris has wrecked during her time in office. In 2021, she was the tie-breaking vote on $2 trillion of reckless spending that juiced this inflation crisis and sent a lot of money to China. Well, I don't think we should send money to China. I think we ought to keep it right here at home. Remember the Inflation Reduction Act, which was really the Inflation is a Disaster Act. She cast the deciding vote, triggered the worst affordability crisis in generations. And at the same time, she said that high gas prices were, quote, the price to pay for democracy. A woman who's never earned a vote for President of the United States. That's the price for democracy. Well, it's not the price for democracy, my friends. It's the price we paid for her failed leadership. Now, Harris wants to ban fracking, ban offshore drilling, take away your gas cars. And by the way, I think in America, you ought to be able to drive whatever the hell you want to, because this is America and we believe in freedom. She wants to take away your gas stoves. She even wants to take away your ability to eat red meat. That's how out there she is.
I don't know about nobody else, but ain't nothing better than a steak.
That's real.
It's me.
The fake news will fact check it. They'll fact check it true. She actually said that. In other words, she thinks that she's better than us. She thinks she's better than you. She thinks she's smarter than you. She thinks you need to be told how to live your life. But this November, let's tell the Washington elites, let's tell Kamala Harris, mind your own damn business. We're electing Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Now, every time the Democrats attack us and attack our movement, they can't help but tell on themselves. They reveal how much they hate the American people. Now, remember this. Remember, Barack Obama said we cling to God and guns. Remember that? Hillary Clinton called us deplorables. And now Kamala Harris says we're weird. Well, Kamala, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about some things that are weird. We think it's weird that Democrats want to put sexually explicit books in toddlers' libraries. We think it's weird that the far left wants to allow biological males to beat the living crap out of women in boxing. We think it's weird for a presidential candidate to bail convicted rapists and murderers out of prison, and that's what Kamala Harris did. And I think it's especially weird when Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta. I believe came here to this arena. Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta and talks with a fake Southern accent, even though she grew up in Canada. You can't make it up. That's pretty weird. Go watch the clip. She sounded like a Southern belle, even though she grew up in Vancouver. It doesn't make any sense. But on November 5th, she can go back to using her San Francisco accent because we're going to send her packing and we're going to reelect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Now, we can handle the made-up attacks by Democrats and by the media because we're used to it by now. But here's something I can't stomach about Kamala Harris. It's when she has the nerve to question our loyalty to this country. And she does. Well, here's what President Trump and I believe about loyalty. Loyalty to this country is closing our border, not opening it up. Loyalty is making life more affordable, not causing inflation because you can't stop sending money like a drunken sailor. Loyalty is safeguarding Medicare for American citizens, not bankrupting it by sending it to illegal aliens, which is what she wants to do. Loyalty is protecting Laken Riley, not allowing an illegal immigrant to take her life. Loyalty is serving in the United States Marine Corps, something I am proud to have done. Loyalty is taking a bullet for this country, something Donald J. Trump did. Kamala Harris, if you want to see the face of disloyalty, look in the damn mirror.
Personal today.
Now, for decades, we've gotten used to it. Politicians in Washington have sold out this country. We got to remember when the multinational corporations and the lobbyists called their offices, a lot of them traded American jobs for campaign cash. Now, they'd never admit that, of course. They'd brag about trade deals and they'd promise cheap products. They called it globalization, and that's what it was, sending American jobs to some other part of the globe instead of keeping them right here at home. And if it's up, my friends, if it's up to Kamala Harris, it's going to keep on happening. Let's remember her record. She voted to preserve NAFTA, the very trade deal that sent American jobs to Mexico and turned American dreams into nightmares. Now, she's asking us for a promotion, and I think it's time to say to Kamala Harris, you're fired. The American dream is dying under Kamala Harris. But we're going to save it. We're going to save it for every American, regardless of color or creed, and we're going to do it when we reelect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. That's why we got to do it. You know, President Trump knows a few things that the Washington politicians forgot. He knows that 1 million cheap plastic toys from China is not worth a single American manufacturing job. We're going to rebuild American manufacturing. We're going to rebuild the factories. We're going to rebuild the American dream, and we're going to stamp more products made in the USA. It's a beautiful thing, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I've seen the consequences of electing failed politicians like Kamala Harris. I've seen it in my own hometown because more often than not, it's the people the Bible calls the least of these that suffer the most when Kamala Harris doesn't do her job. They like to say they're for the little guy, but it's the little guy who hurts the most when Kamala Harris fails. Now, a lot of you know my story. You know how I grew up. I was raised by a strong woman, a Christian grandmother who loved the Lord, but also loved the F word. Ladies and gentlemen, she was a study in contrast. I think there are a few out here just like it. Now people ask me, How is it that you were able to grow up in a poor family, grow up in a family that was struggling, had a lot of chaos and a lot of trouble? And the answer is because, one, this is the greatest country in the world and the American dream is still possible. The second answer is because I had a mamaw who was tough as nails, and she kept me on the right path. Now, I could tell you a lot of stories. One of my favorite mamaw stories is when I enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. She was very proud of me, of course, but it was a time of war, and mamaw was not happy that a recruiter had persuaded me to enlist in the Marines. So I remember he came over to our house and started to walk up the steps to her porch, and she said, "Look, if you step one more foot on my porch, I'm going to blow that thing off." And she had 19 handguns at home, so that was not an idle threat. But that strength and that discipline allowed me to achieve my dreams, and things worked out for me because we love our country. It's a great country, and because there are women like mamaw all over this country making sure kids are able to achieve their dreams. Thank you. But let's be honest, there were some tough times too. And this goes to the point about Kamala Harris's failures. I remember, the reason mamaw raised me is because my mom struggled with addiction for a big chunk of my early life. And I'm proud to say that she has been clean and sober for almost 10 years now. I'm so proud of my mom.
You're grown ass man. It sounds like 10 years. Damn.
Thank you. And for all those struggling with this terrible problem of addiction, no, there is hope and there is recovery. It's worth it. You got to keep fighting for it. But we support you and we support your dreams for second chances. But it wasn't always that good. Didn't always think that I would get a second chance with my mom. I remember being a kid, waiting at the bedside of my mom, angry that she had taken something she shouldn't have taken, and just praying to God, even though I was so mad, praying to God, please, Jesus, just let her wake up. Don't let this thing be the thing that took her life. And the unfortunate truth, my friends, is that the poison that Kamala Harris has let into this country means there are a lot of kids like me who are not going to have those prayers answered. We're going to remember who we're fighting for. And it's the kids at the side of those bedside tables begging God for their parents to wake up. We're going to make sure that happens. We're going to fight for the people who are struggling in this country. And the contrast between an America led by Kamala Harris and an America led by President Trump, it couldn't be more clear. Remember, President Trump's vision was closed borders and open factories. Kamala Harris's vision is the exact opposite: open borders and closed factories. Kamala Harris, she wants bigger government that can tell you what to do, and she also wants smaller bank accounts, which I think a lot of us have seen. But Donald Trump, by contrast, delivered record paychecks and the strongest border in history. What an amazing record of accomplishment. Kamala Harris wants to ban fracking and buy energy from every tin pot dictator all over the world. Donald Trump wants to drill, baby, drill. Let's get it from our own workers and our own territory. Kamala Harris wants to raise your taxes, and she wants to make it easier for companies to ship jobs to Mexico and China. Donald Trump wants to lower taxes for hardworking families. In fact, he already did it, and we want to reward companies that hire American and buy American. It's all about protecting the workers of this country. Kamala Harris wants to defund the police and let violent criminals out of jail. Donald Trump wants to lock up the bad guys and back the blue, and he did it for 4 years. He's going to do it again. So I want to send a message out there to those who are struggling, those who are trying to make ends meet. If you're scraping by instead of thriving, I know what that feels like. I know what it's like to choose between paying off the credit card or buying groceries. I know what it's like to watch families fall apart under financial stress. I know what it's like to worry that a parent will never kick that habit, and I know what it's like to worry that that habit is going to eventually claim their lives. But I also know that our national motto is "In God We Trust," and God tells us not to despair, but to hope. Hope. And while the media likes to lie about this movement and this party, this movement of ours is about a simple idea. We love this country enough that we will never give up hope, and we will never stop fighting for a better future for everybody, whether they vote for us or not. If you're an American citizen, we love you, and we're going to fight for you. Now, we know that in this election, the best way to give our people hope for the future is to re-elect the guy who already did it and did it very well, Donald J. Trump, the once and future president of the United States. In just a few months, I believe this state of Georgia is going to lead a great American restoration, a restoration of safety, of prosperity, and yes, of hope. We're going to secure our borders. We're going to kick out the drugs and the illegal immigrants. We're going to rebuild American manufacturing. We're going to bring jobs back to this country, and we are going to buy American, for our people. It's going to start in Georgia. God bless you all. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to be your next vice president, and we're going to win Georgia and win this country. I love you all. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, y'all. So we have heard from JD Vance. I have a question. We all in America, right? And supposedly we all want to be in the best position possible, right? Let me know if anybody in here is on some different type of time. So if you have someone who, we're gonna start with our current president. You can look at Joe's total body of work. You know what I'm saying? Senate, vice president, president, like the whole nine. And then you have Trump. You can look at his 4 years in office. I'm just which one y'all think was better? And you know what? I'm gonna have a special heart to heart with my black people later on, because I need somebody to explain to me what is so offensive about Make America Great Again. We black people in America. So okay, child, I don't know where you getting your information from, but that is not, no. If you in America and you supposedly want to be in the best position possible, okay, we Uber jobs and in a job is different. We got more people driving Uber and Lyft and all of that shit now than ever before. We talking about traditional jobs. And that so-called 12.6 that you're talking about, most of that was during C-19. So we're gonna need to try this all over again. I mean, if you want to be on that type of time, that's what you want to be on. We dealing with something else over here. Because again, if you better off now than you was before, then that sounds like you was fucking up before. Because this ain't it. It's like all the progress, I know, and I'm speaking anecdotally between myself and, you know what I'm saying, people in my life. Oh, thank you, Derek, for the Cash App. I appreciate it. The progress that we made during Trump is erased. Okay, the economy didn't grow last month. So what we talking about? What we talking about? Jobs again. And we got to look at the quality of those jobs. If you're creating Uber jobs, person A, and then you got person B creating careers, you know, in STEM, then I think person B doing a better job. Because them long-term jobs. Hell, ain't Uber or Lyft or one of them fighting with their damn drivers now about how much money they paying them? Y'all need to quit playing. And again, are you seeing this where you live? Because that ain't the case where I am. I'm seeing people struggling where I am while they drive an Uber and Lyft. So where are these jobs? Eric, are you coming up here? Let me know.
9898 to get a free info kit on gold. And Titus, you were telling me earlier
if you coming up,
that your family, I mean, your dad actually has gold coins. Like, what does he have?
Oh, yeah. My dad is he's all about investing in the gold and silver and precious metals because he realizes the value that they hold and the importance of having them. And it's not just him. I've heard from all kinds of books. Everyone's heard of the Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everyone's heard of Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about gold all the time and the importance of gold. And I've heard from so many different people within finance, successful people that are like, get your hands on gold. Get your hands on gold. And so that's why it's so important that we go to Bert's Gold and we use
everybody in my
all
life
the resources we have to get that gold, to get the God's money, because that's if the dollar ever loses value, which it looks that way for many years, you need something that's actually going to be valuable.
Exactly. So you could text Trump to 989898. You see that there on your screen. Always good to have gold, silver, precious metals as a backup to the U.S. dollar. Having the dollar is great, and having some gold and silver, pretty good too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, so today's been a very newsworthy day, obviously, because President Trump is in the building and others that are great patriots.
Yes.
But I think before we were interviewing a number of people from all across the world, literally. If you missed any of the interviews, you can scrub back maybe after the broadcast and see all kinds of, I mean, you were saying rappers before too, right?
Yeah, we had Forjo Blow who was there. We had a man from Nicaragua. We had people, Pacific Asians. Like they were all from all around the world. We had Romanians, we had Germans, we had South Africans. So many different people out here supporting Trump, coming from those places and migrating here and realizing this is a place to be if this place is operating correctly. And in order for us to do it correctly, we need to embrace someone who's actually going to instill American values and lead us into following the Constitution. And so that's why we're here for Trump.
Exactly. And so that guy from Nicaragua as well. I mean, we literally interviewed him, I think, 3 or 4 separate
It was
times.
a lot of times. And he was spitting bars every single time.
He was spitting bars, exactly. He was on point. He was saying so many things about freedom versus communism, socialism, Marxism. All of the things that we never really thought, at least I didn't think, that we would ever have to face a choice between freedom or tyrannical government.
Never. Why would we? This is the most free country in the world. We pride ourselves on being the home of the brave and the land of the free, and yet we're taking those freedoms away slowly, year by year, day by day. And so that's why the people that have experienced that Marxism, that communism, that come from areas where that's a thing, they're like, I see what's going on here. A lot of people don't. People that were born in America that aren't well studied, that aren't really looking into politics or the nature of what's happening in the government, they don't see it. Oh yeah, that's kind of weird. Maybe don't do that to the kids. Don't put that in the schools. That's kind of weird. Don't do this. But the people that ran from that in their country come here and see, well, what's going on here. no, we can't have this. And that's why they're so passionate. That's why the guy from Nicaragua was screaming at the top of his lungs, full of fire and passion, because he was like, I'm not going back to that. And that's what all of them were doing.
It was awesome, too. We're hearing from everybody out there. And then one of the guys just came up. I think it was from Georgia or somewhere.
Do not.
And he's like, I agree with everything here. And we're all standing there together. And I think that's what we have to understand is President Trump is running for president for all of America.
Yeah, exactly. And what JD Vance was just saying that. He was saying, even if you don't support us, even if you don't rock with our administration, we are fighting for you. That's what we're doing. So it's okay. Even if you don't support me, even if you don't vote for me, I'm still gonna make the economy better for you. I'm gonna make the gas prices lower for you. I'm gonna make buying groceries lower for you, the expenses of that lower for you. Even if you don't vote for me, when we get in office, I'm still fighting for you on that front. You will never hear the other side say that. And when I say the other side, I'm not talking about the civilians, the everyday average, good-hearted American. I'm talking about the politicians. They will call you the extremists. They will call you the maggots or whatever they want to call you. And so we know who to vote for. We know who actually cares about the people. It's not this current administration.
That's Titus Ellis Smith right here. I'm Matthew Alvarez. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us for so many hours. Some of you I know watched since 10 this morning. That's a lot of hours.
You got some loyal fans.
We weren't on camera the whole time, and that's okay because we interviewed so many people outside, and that's what it's about here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. The people to the president. We interview we the people. We are we the people as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool to mix in with our people?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing though. Like we have the microphone, we have the cameras, and we're going around talking to people.
How's it going, almondeyez?
Like we saw people.
RSPN.
Right. Oh my gosh, I love you.
I'm doing good.
I'm like, we're really
I'm
just
just waiting on this load.
Just have the microphones, and we're giving them a voice.
Okay.
But you know, I got me some free time.
All right, that's what's up. So what you think of the commentary so far? What's standing out for you?
I mean, I guess you said the fact is like they keep on repeating the same facts over and over. So I guess it's somewhat repetitive, but I mean, motherfuckers ain't lying. They ain't lying on it. And after I know the black dude though, the brother, he's a YouTuber.
He is?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find him.
And the crazy thing was there was this lady that he had on there, right? And remember when they was talking about ICE about the kids being like stuck in captivity?
Yeah.
This is the twist on it. And I didn't know this, but this was actually what's happening on the border was a lot of those kids would get trafficked.
Mm-hmm.
So what they was doing, what ICE was doing to make sure that was the people's parents was doing like a DNA test. And a lot of times was of kids, the parents, that wasn't their parent.
Wow.
But those Democrats don't tell you that part of it.
Mm.
I mean, they had the website.
Sense, you know what I'm saying? If you investigating trafficking, if you got, you know what I'm saying? You got Stockholm syndrome, you know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense to DNA test them.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of times, too, the parents would maybe have like 10, 15 kids with them.
Mm-hmm. Even some of them parents were selling their kids into that.
Yes.
I saw a movie about that. Was based on this woman's story. It really ain't been that long ago. It was on Lifetime. Her daddy sent her right on up into that.
Although actually it was the one about Holly Berry, because I remember she did that. What was it called? What, Traffic or something like that?
No, did when they stole her son?
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when I seen that, I actually thought the lady's, she has a whole website, and she was helping the border people find, like, I guess you say the immigrants that you couldn't really see with through the naked eye. So she had infrared, and man, she'll catch so many of them. It's crazy how many she'll catch. So she was helping our border patrol to just catch the last little bit of the immigrants that they couldn't find, they couldn't see. And most of the time, she'll probably catch at one time like 300-400 people. So I'm like, damn. So I mean, even though they have, Kamala Harris supposed to be the Barzard, if she knew that, she would have that border closed up. And instead of just allow immigrants to come in, because how they do their verification process.
Ain't no way you didn't know that.
Oh, trust me, they do. It's just a lot of times, I guess you said the other borders be paying, certain politicians off. So they turn the other head. They turn the other cheek on it.
It's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. But if I ever find that interview, I'll send you the link to that, because man, I was in disbelief on her website, and I was like, you can't make it up. You really can't make it up.
Yes, it's always context that you can. One thing is guaranteed: context will be left out.
Yes, I agree with that. Context is always left out.
Always.
But I do laugh when people keep on trying. Well, the scare tactics that the Democrats are trying to do with that Project 2025, it's hilarious.
I'm so tired of hearing it.
I'm like, man, I said, did y'all even read can you tell me what's on Project 2025? I mean, there's some crucial questions you could ask Democrats. And
This is my thing right here. They wanted to know about 2025. They had a perfect opportunity the other day when he was over there with the National Black
Convention.
Yeah, National Association of Black Journalists. If they wanted to know about 2025 and they said he wrote it, that was the time to ask him about it.
You know why they wasn't going to do that though, right?
No.
Because they already know his policies.
Wow. Danny said, how come we know more about Trump's policies than we do Kamala? Because Trump has made them available to the masses.
Yeah. Well, Trump has made them available 2 years ahead of time. Because you got to understand, like he basically started his campaign in 2022, and he made his announcement that he's gonna go basically go back in for presidency. So he already has his policies up there
that's when they started
for at least 2 years.
Hey, Red Lipstick Vibes, how you doing? But yeah, this is my thing. Like, I'm with you, Dan. She's gonna have to make some information available. We need to know. So that's why I said we're gonna review these last couple speeches, and then she's supposed to be in Pennsylvania on Tuesday. We're gonna have that because they're saying that's where she's gonna make her VP announcement. But y'all, it sounded like it's gonna be Pritzker.
I mean, whoever it is, I don't think they got a ghost of a chance to beat Trump or JD Vance. So,
what you say, Amanda? I would love to know the truth about the border being open. Grease pockets, electoral votes, 20 million illegals in our country, and we don't know why. We do know why.
Oh, I do know why.
But it's the thing, though. My thing is they've done this before and it didn't work. But you're doing the same thing you did the last time. So shouldn't you expect the same results?
Yep.
Or they just banking on people being dumber this go around?
Well, how Kamala was said is basically people, a lot of the voter bloc, right? She called them stupid. So if you're from 18 to 24, you stupid.
Them ain't the dumb ones. It's the old ones that's dumb. So these young folks is ciphering through the foolishness. It's the old folks that got their head in the sand, and I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I've been doing, even though I got 3 decades of proof to say it don't work. I'm gonna keep doing it. Them the ones that's a problem, not the young people.
Well, I agree with you, and that also too is
I mean, look
like
at
one of
it though.
no, I'm agreeing with you, put it out. But I remember really like my family members like the last time around they all literally voted for Biden, right? And I had to ask them why you voted for Biden. Oh, because Donald Trump's a racist. I'm like, what?
Okay, see, this is another thing with black people. Let me add it to my list for our conversation. I need y'all to get the real definition of because you can't be a racist. You can practice racism, but I need y'all to know what racism is. Racism is a practice. It is an ideology. It's a process. We got to get clear about that.
And after I agree with that. Then after that, right, I was asking what policies that will, make it better, pretty much, right? That Biden was pushing. And what I was telling them was basically what he's pushing was just immigration, LGBTQ. Those are his two main ones and nothing else. Everybody else is getting promised something, but not us. Still voted. They still voted Democrat. But this time around, they actually started catching on. Like, we're sorry, it was basically only person that actually voted for Trump was my dad. That's it. And the rest of my family members clearly voted for Biden. But they couldn't explain to you either what they're basically voting for, really for Biden for, except Trump's a racist.
Right, but my thing is, he's such a racist. What did he do in his 4 years that set black people back? What did he do?
Oh, I got the perfect answer for you, almondeyez. It's funny. Nothing. He actually helped out a lot more black people.
He really did.
This when you ask the question, he actually helped out a lot more black people.
And I'm gonna be real. When he won, I thought I was in for some more hell. Things got. It was like a complete 180 from Obama to Trump.
Yes. That's true. That's true. And one other thing too, I could ask people. Remember with Obama's when he was in office, right? How many what do you call it? Blacks was getting shot by police. How many? And after you do the comparison, how many black people get shot by police with Trump?
Every time I turn around, it was somebody getting shot by the police.
Yeah. And after I said, did Obama implement any law or did anything to help to rectify the situation?
No, because then remember he had Eric Holder as the director of the DOJ, and he kept declining to prosecute people.
You are correct. Very correct.
Every time he declined to prosecute for Trayvon, he declined to prosecute for Michael Brown. He declined to prosecute what was the boy McDonald. He didn't want to prosecute that. He didn't want to do nothing about what was the sister girl?
Sandra Bland, Tamara Rice.
Sandra Bland. Every time I turned
Freddie
around,
Gray.
he was like, yeah, no, we ain't prosecute. And then it was a couple of shootings that happened under Bush that he still had time to prosecute before the statute, you know what I'm saying, before they statute ran out. He didn't want to do them either.
Yep.
Like he didn't do shit. Nothing.
Yep.
So again, what did Trump do to set black people back? Specifically.
And most people can't even answer that question.
Time is something. So if anybody in the chat, please put it in the chat because we want to make sure our information is accurate.
And on the flip, you always ask people too is whose economy was better.
Okay, and let me ask you something, Eric. Last time I checked, didn't the black people consisted of male and female, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why is it every time we sit up here talking about doing something for black people, we only talk about black females?
That's like the perfect question to ask me too.
That's a whole different group of people.
Okay, this is how this is how I can answer it. Remember when I'm not trying to deflect the question, your question or nothing, but remember when Ice Cube was basically trying to do the contract with Black America?
I do.
Hold up. Hold up. Let me cut. I call you. Let me hit you back up. Okay. I gotta do one thing real quick.
Okay, the blue alert laws to protect the police. Okay. Well, I thought y'all said police was the problem. So how police need protection? Just so I can be clear. What's your opinion about immunity for police officers? So, I'm not super vast on that, burst on that. I'm just gonna go off of what Trump said the other day when he was talking to the National Association of Black Journalists. He's not offering 100% blanket immunity across the board. Like you could just do whatever the hell it is you want to do, and you ain't got to worry about that. That's not what that man said. And he also said, since they kept wanting to talk about the Sonya Murphy situation, he was like, you basically the immunity would be on a case-by-case basis. So there would still be some investigating in as to what happened. And then that's on the federal level, which means you wouldn't be getting prosecuted by the United States of America, but that wouldn't stop the state that this took place in from coming after you.
I agree.
So yeah, he ain't just handing out no free pass.
Yeah. Hey, how about you hear me?
Yeah. Hang on, what you say? Now the Seeker 100. He gave Black more job opportunities. We thrived when prices were low. A lot of Black people got small businesses under Trump. Thank you. See, I was getting ready to go there. Knowledge Seeker 100. You right on it. Since Black people, especially Black women, love all this damn entrepreneurship we got going on with these lashes and these wigs and all that kind of shit. If ain't nobody got no money to buy nothing, your business ain't gonna thrive. We don't have no money to buy nothing. We had money under Trump.
Facts.
Since we love all this entrepreneurship, well, that's what y'all want to call it, be bullshit. But whatever, y'all just be out here selling stuff, but y'all want to call it entrepreneurship. But again, if you got a product you're trying to sell, you need people with some money to buy. So if nobody has any money to buy, your product is going unsold, which is the situation that you're in now. So what we talking about?
True. Oh yeah, what was your question again? I'm sorry. I was trying to get with the good analogy, pretty much. Before I fell out.
Listen, we covering the DNC. We gonna cover that because, like I said, I'm here to bring the information. I'm not pushing one side over the other. I'm bringing you the information so you can know what's being said and make your decisions on from there. What you say, man, Jay? Because Black people are Black women. That's who the Dems care about. The Black women are the majority of the African American community. Let the Dems tell it. See, that's what I'm talking about. What you say now? But that's not what we call fairness, aka capitalism. Oh, okay. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. But again, you going back to what you were saying, MC, focusing on these Black women don't never work because they about how they feel. Now, if it was, let's say we was way back in 2022 when everybody was trying to get their candidates together, and it was, let's say it was Kamala, let's say it was Stacey Abrams, and let's say it was Iyanla Vance. Let's say all three of them was going to be the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. Which one y'all going with and why? These chicks would if you ask them every 3 months, they would flip-flop between the three of them based on what the hell they were saying at the time. You can't depend on Black women. And I'm a Black woman. I can't depend on them. And again, the community involves men, women, and children. So the children can't vote. The women gonna be fickle with they voting, and you ain't saying nothing to the men. Even if the men and the women ain't together, the men still out there and the men can still vote. Democrats ain't mentioned a black man yet. I've been waiting. And since y'all got y'all sister girl, you know what I'm saying, nominee, why she can't find no black man running mate? They out there. Somebody let me know something. But you say that's the point, because some black women will vote and they will get them something small and they all good after that. Okay, so MC, because I know you've seen it about as many times as I have. Miss, I told you to do Biden. If we could find her, what do you think she would have to say? She talking about we need somebody in there with some sense. All right, ma'am, it's 3.5 years later now. But...
Hey, you can hear me again?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Yeah, I don't know why everybody and their mama calling me all of a sudden.
It be like that sometimes. But again, these black men are still out there. These black men are still going to vote. So if you act like they invisible, don't be shocked when you don't get their vote.
You are correct. Correct.
This is ridiculous. And maybe I've missed something else. Maybe y'all can let me know. Let me write that down too. What has the black community specifically asked for?
Actually, something very simple was the George Floyd bill and hate crime bill. Mainly, those are the two main things.
Okay, so them answers right there just prove we don't know shit about politics. Now, if we talking about the George Floyd bill, right? Okay. Now, wasn't Vance just talk about that? I can't even remember her name. What was the girl that got killed? The nursing student.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Anyway, so again, if you're gonna ask for something and name it after somebody, you want to make sure they history squeaky fucking clean. That's like going in there asking for, we want protection for Nino Brown type motherfuckers. It's essentially what you're saying. You gotta make it look good. They gotta be able to swallow it. But you know what, BJ? We talk about reparations, but ain't nobody showed up to the table with no plan as to how we could get reparations. We just be talking reparations. I'm talking about who's showing up with some legislation and some sponsorship behind it to get it done. I ain't talking about Crump and damn Al Sharpton and none of them niggas. I ain't talking about them. Who's showing up with some for real legislation? We not.
You know what we get, almondeyez? And I hate to admit this shit. A fucking study. That's what we get.
We what?
All we get is a study.
You mean one that somebody else conducted, not one that we conducted ourselves? One of them?
Unfortunately.
This is what I'm talking about. Everybody else putting in work. We sitting around talking about what we should get and what's owed to us. Listen, every day you wake up, the damn slate clean. So technically nobody owe you shit. What you gonna do?
I mean, especially the state I was in, they finished the reparations committee thing, right? And when it came to, the cash payments and all the other programs that Gavin Newsom did agree to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, he backed out on his word.
That's what I'm talking about. We don't never cross the damn finish line correctly. Prime example. So I told you I've been watching the Olympics, right? So we track and field, really got started hot and heavy yesterday. So yesterday they had the mixed 4x100 relay team, right? Team for the United States, all black, 2 men, 2 women, right? Not only in the qualifying did they come in first, they set an Olympic and a world record. The final was today at ask me if they won gold?
Nope.
Hell no. Y'all did all of that yesterday and didn't do nothing today. So what did you really do? Nothing. We don't care about you setting the world records because you ain't bring that gold back with you. And that's what we do.
They could at least get a silver or bronze medal, something like that.
They got silver, but you were supposed to win gold. Because you did all of that yesterday and all that partying and showboating you did yesterday, and you let these damn folk from the Netherlands beat on your ass today. Now, when in your life you don't ever heard of the Netherlands winning in track and field?
Man, I haven't heard that in so long.
Not never. Especially against no all-black team. Yes. To the Netherlands, y'all. This is what I'm talking about.
No USA or Brazil win that I've been seeing.
Taking pictures about yesterday. You ain't handling your business today. Ain't no tomorrow. This done. Ain't no tomorrow.
Yep. They want to wait till next year.
Try this 4 more years. If you still around. Yep. Hold on. What you say, Amanda? Had to go double check that I had my facts straight, but wanted to be sure. Trump passed prison reform that overturned unjust prison sentences for over 5,000 black. Yeah, and Trump went and it was at least 150 vacant judicial seats that Obama left open. Yep. Let me pull it up and see. I know it was at least 150. I think it was really more than that. What you say? If there's a real plan, it's being suppressed by the people with real. Wait a minute. It's being suppressed. The people with the real plans ended up taking that long. Now, there's no plan. That's the problem. There ain't no plan. If you got a plan and you got backers, it ain't being suppressed. That's the point of the backers. You can't shut up the Elon Musk of the world. You can't shut up the Zuckerbergs of the world. You can't shut them up because they got platforms to where even if you, that's why Musk said he bought Twitter. Was because so y'all can quit shutting Trump up. That's what I'm talking about. Backing. We ain't doing all of that. What you say? Don't forget about the blacks he invited to the White House to pray over him. And also, that's what I'm talking about. And that's another thing. Folks, we talk about, well, I mean, that money he gave them was allocated, you know what I'm saying, by Obama. Okay, allocated and cutting a damn check is two different things. I allocate money at my job all the time. That don't mean I'm cutting checks. I allocated some money in 2022. I ain't cut a check for this shit yet. What's allocated for you and what you get in your hand is two different things. So if he put cash in their hand, then then it is what it is. Yeah. Because I know of at least 3 HBCUs here in North Carolina that he kept open. They was literally packing up their damn libraries when the money came through. And these are the same ones that were struggling, and one of them actually did shut down for a year under Obama. So what the hell y'all talking about?
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah. Was straight shut down for about a year. Then you know what I'm saying, they you know what I'm saying, got that thing, and then you know what I'm saying, they lost their accreditations and all that kind of stuff, and you know what I'm saying, was trying to raise money to, you know what I'm saying, reapply for all of that. Like problems on top of problems. Trump brought cash to the table. He put cash in their hands. So y'all can say what y'all want. And based on my research, what they actually got in their hand was more than what the hell was so-called allocated by Obama. Again, fuck it being allocated, I need it in my hand. That's like you allocate my paycheck, but you don't never give it to me. What good they doing it? So I mean, you ain't gotta like it, but I mean, tell the facts as they are. I had to get somebody straight about that last week. Well, I mean, it was just the money. No. Allocating money and actually getting and putting it where my sister, you know what I'm saying, is a budget analyst, you know what I'm saying, for NASA. She allocate money all the time. Yeah, she was like, that don't mean we give them the green light to spend it. Like, y'all quit playing. I'm hearing a whole lot of Trump, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, so I mean, like, let's be for real. And again, the problem is the way I see it. is Black people, they don't care about being in a position to better themselves. They want to be in a position where they're better and don't have to do anything. Because everybody had an opportunity to make money under Trump. Everybody had an opportunity to make money under Clinton. In the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, Bush came in and let Cheney and all them shake shit up. But after it leveled out, you had an opportunity to make a little bit of money under Bush. But that ain't good enough. Yeah, they want the money, but they don't want to have to work for it. So since they got to work for it, then you ain't doing nothing for them. This logic is flawed. Yes, it seems like we all operate in flawed logic. This is stupid. What you say? Nah, my favorite thing about the people praying over him is not widely publicized, so it proves to me it wasn't a publicity stunt. I'm just saying. But you know, that's the best way to discount something is to call it a publicity stunt.
Okay, I see it.
You know what I'm saying? Best way to discount something. So yeah, if you ain't putting it out there for the masses, and I mean, we talk to politics. So I mean, we gonna go, wouldn't everything be a publicity stunt if it's cameras there? I don't understand why this just shows up when we talk about Trump. But he also funded research to figure out why Black women have a higher mortality rate during childbirth. I can answer that for you, Amanda, as a Black woman. It ain't got nothing. It got everything to do with we ain't living right. We ain't going to get no prenatal care till we about 7 months along. We partying and twerking and drinking until about 2 weeks before the baby due. We don't handle pregnancy correctly. Black women been having babies since before the beginning of damn time. Why now all of a sudden, after y'all done got rid of your husbands and your daddies and your granddaddies and your uncles and any type of, you know what I'm saying, male leadership, now y'all dropping dead having babies? This bullshit.
I agree with you. I'm announced there.
This straight bullshit. That's why, Amanda. Well, he can send me that money. I tell him right now. They not out here correct. Sit down somewhere. We don't Black women, the majority don't cook. So you sit up here eating damn lemon pepper wings and drinking damn Hennessy your whole fucking pregnancy, and you confused about why you ain't making it? Shit, that's why you ain't making it.
Yeah.
Ain't had a piece of broccoli or damn collard green that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, swimming in damn sugar and vinegar. Can you get a piece of kale? Can you get some squash? Can you get some damn cabbage? Can you get something other than damn lemon pepper wings and fries and peach tea? Damn, get a baby something to feed off of. That's worth something. Everything come out of a box or a bag or somebody's damn drive-through window. That's why y'all dropping dead during childbirth. Damn, pressure through the roof. That's why. You ain't supposed to take the EPT and then you don't see no doctor no more till you in your 8th month. That ain't how that's supposed to go. That's why. You get out what you put in. We ain't putting shit in, so we ain't getting nothing out.
I agree.
It's that simple.
I agree.
Because again, why back in my grandmama time, because she was 15 when she had my mama. She ain't dropped dead. She was 15 years old. My grandmama was 15 when she had my mama. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
She ain't dropped dead, and didn't nobody else have no damn babies without no husband either. So you can cut shit if you want to. She was like, yeah, I did it. It was messed up, but ain't nobody else gonna do it, and ain't nobody else done it. My mama ain't do it. I ain't do it. My sister ain't do it. So you can nip some shit in the bud if you want to. Y'all just be out here talking. It ain't hard.
You're right.
It ain't hard. Y'all.
I mean, there's also too that, you know, a lot of Black women, you know, way back in there, even slavery days, were doulas.
This is what I'm talking about.
So they learned all the tricks how to give birth, and
All
nobody
that, but
wasn't,
again,
no kid
the
was
women
really
used to get
dying.
some rest. The women used to get some rest. They wasn't out in the street chasing their baby daddy.
That
They
too.
wasn't slashing tires. They wasn't knocking out windows. They wasn't laying up with Miss Sue's husband. And then, you know what I'm saying, trying to fight him when he got off of you to go on back to Miss Sue. Wasn't none of that going on back then on that level.
Correct.
This is why y'all struggling today. This why. I told y'all about, you know what I'm saying, a friend of mine I had, you know what I'm saying, some years back, we had gone out to dinner, and we was riding through uptown, and she was 5 months pregnant now. And she saw her baby daddy talking to some chick and jumped out the moving car to confront him.
That's the wrong thing to do right there.
That kind of shit. That's what I'm saying. This why they dropping dead, Amanda. This why.
Your friend was on that
They
real.
don't want to get up and have no exercise and let the baby, you know what I'm saying, turn around. They don't even know nothing about this shit. Like these goofy ass bras, you do know the position that the baby in when it actually come out ain't the position the whole time you carrying them, right? Why I had to explain this shit to some folks. I'm like, y'all be worried about it.
Unfortunately, I guess you could say it's the level of ignorance in our race, because a lot of niggas don't want to know. They rather stay ignorant instead of knowing what to do.
Exactly. Because then it's the excuse for when it get messed up.
Yeah,
so yeah, we got this whole instead of you black women need to, you know what I'm saying, handle pregnancy better, or better yet, quit getting knocked up by everybody you come in damn contact with. Now it's the epidemic of black women dying during childbirth. I don't hear that shit. Where the married ones dropping dead during, come talk to me. They don't never seem to be no married ones. They'll be the damn poster cheering for this bullshit. I be missing them. Bring me a list. What you say, Amanda? Some would be aware of this if I didn't watch it. Look, I'm just here to, you know what I'm saying, I tell it to y'all as I see it and how I have lived it. What you say, Dolly Seeker? I think we should have a conversation about why the black family is not working. Listen, I'm putting the list together. I'm gonna have a conversation for the black community. So make sure you got your notifications on.
I gotta say the main thing is, like, if it's a man, right? Most of them, like, you know, single parent household. Their mother didn't really teach them how to lead, so most men don't know how to lead.
They don't, and will fight you to the death if you say that to them.
And after you reverse the roles, right? Most women don't know how to follow.
Well, yeah, if you've never seen leadership, then you don't know nothing about following that. You can't have one without the other.
That's why I would say that's the two main factors.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
Yes.
And you can't, and y'all can say what y'all want. You can't. It's just some things you can't explain to the opposite sex. It's just some things only a woman gonna be able to understand. Like if me and Amanda had a conversation about what it feel like to have our period. Eric, you can't go tell Amanda what it feel like for me to have my period. You can't do it.
You goddamn right.
You can't do it. But me and Amanda can talk. She be like, "Girl, I know exactly what you talk about."
I'm basically like, you know, y'all be hella logical. I'll be basically just a big time dummy. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. That's what it goes to.
Right. That's a female to female conversation. Just like if you and Derek Gaines was talking about what it feel like to bust a nut. That's something only y'all can talk. I can't come tell him what it feel like for you to bust a nut, because I don't know. I ain't never gonna know. But black women want to convince you that they can relate to their sons in that manner. You can't. You can't even relate to your daughter in a woman-to-woman manner, a female-to-female manner. How the hell you gonna relate to your son in a male-female manner? Cut this shit out.
That's true.
Cut this out.
I agree.
Then when I show up and start asking questions, then I be wrong.
Yep. I agree with you there.
That look like Trump come out. They showing his little preview video.
I don't know.
Y'all
Trump
gonna
been
stop
knocking it
playing.
out the park for real. Like he been knocking it out the park.
Well, you know
Well, I
what,
think
knowledge secret? Y'all can't even have barbershop talk no more because you got women in there braiding hair. But some of that is y'all fault. Stop inviting women to every damn thing y'all do. Cut that shit out. Women ain't inviting y'all to everything we do. Damn, I'm tired of y'all. Hold on, we gonna put that down on the list too.
I'm not you spin the facts, cause that's true. That is true. Cause I mean, even with the barber talk sometimes too, one thing I get annoyed with is when especially the women, I guess you're saying that community will get in their feelings for a man being a man and speaking nigga talk. So it's all bad.
Right. But
Then we gotta change some kind of rule up because of their feelings.
What you say, MC? Okay, again, women busting a nut is different from men busting a nut. I can try to explain to you what it's like, but you ain't gonna get it. If I'm talking to another woman, she gonna get it.
Well, let me keep it plain. Let me keep it plain and vague. Most men can bust a nut maybe in the quickest 2 minutes ever to 30 seconds. A woman take a whole lot longer. That's the best way I can simplify it.
That's an after dog conversation. I ain't gonna explain all that right now. It look like
I'm just keeping it brief. I'm just keeping it real simple and brief.
Go ahead.
So a man can do it less than 2 minutes. A woman takes a lot longer.
Yeah, a man is like an iron. A woman is like a stove. Well, oven.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So yeah, like even but what is that about? Like, is y'all access to women so limited that y'all just can't even imagine a space without women? It's just some shit y'all need to talk about amongst yourselves and because that way you can come to a consensus about what the message need to be and who gonna deliver the message. Because see, we sitting up in there, y'all can't come to no consensus about what the real message and the issue is because you trying not to hurt my feelings. But see, I'm the type of chick, I'm gonna be like, I'm leaving because you can't do this with me here. But see, y'all ain't used to that either. Y'all used to that. Y'all up in here, y'all in here plotting. Somebody in here doing something to a woman, y'all doing something to that woman that's wrong, and y'all helping cover up. Y'all fall for all that gaslighting bullshit. But see, I was raised around men.
I remember my simp days. I used to fall for that every time too. I consider a woman's feelings.
I moved different, so clearly that ain't really popular, which might be why I'm still single. But yeah, I don't roll like that.
But just to find out after the fact that this way better be direct, honest, and not really care too much. A woman likes that a whole lot more. But yeah, I remember when I was younger, I was a lot more foolish when it came to that. So he's spitting facts.
I'm just saying it be aggravating me because I'm just to be like, y'all just ooh. And I mean, you can definitely see it in some of these manosphere, but I don't want to call myself manosphere spaces and these damn broads. Every time they can't have a show without a chick on it. I'll be like, damn. So we just ain't it just ain't gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. They can't have.
Oh yeah,
they can't
that
have
question you asked me before I. Go ahead.
What's that?
I was gonna say, remember that question you asked me about before I flipped out the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I remember you said I kind of forgot the question, but I remember part of it was about black women. And I was I know I was giving the analogy of Ice Cube's bill, the bill for Black America, right? The thing that pissed me off when he went on Fox News with Vivica Fox and the few other acres that was on there,
Mm-hmm.
And they really asked him if on the bill itself, the contract was considering black women. I'm like, do you understand what he's saying? Contract for Black America? You wouldn't think it was
Right.
in there
But
for
it's just
you?
like, yeah, you black men are invisible. It's not completely y'all fault, but I'm not seeing you do enough to be visible at the same time. What you say to bro? Hey Nick, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. You say to have black women around who've been around brothers all her life because we kill it. Exactly. I mean, listen, yeah, I know who my daddy is. Like he literally just left it 2 weeks ago. And again, I just using that as an example because, like, for those of y'all who don't know, my mom died at the beginning of June. So, you know what I'm saying? My parents are divorced. So, my dad came, you know what I'm saying, when she died. And he literally has been here up until it'll be 2 weeks. Monday, he left. If
okay.
I was, you know what I'm saying, raised around him and knew how to conduct myself around men and all of that as a 45-year-old woman, that shit would have been a problem. Because that was essentially a month and a half. Like, I know women my age ain't never spent that much time with their daddy their whole life. I'm like, that don't make no sense. And then when you get the story, the only reason for that was, you know what I'm saying, their mama was feeling some type of way. But this man wasn't with you in the beginning. Because like a lot, I was watching Crimson Cure. Shout out to Big Sis. Y'all be telling lies about what be going on with y'all and these men. A lot of y'all be in situationships and hope ships with these men. Y'all wasn't never in no relationship. So when you don't get, you know what I'm saying, family outcomes, then you want to be the victim.
There you go, right there.
Knowledge ship. I think they want to, but I think they done used up all their chips. They done used up all of their chips. Oh, thank you, MC. Yeah, I think they used up all their chips. Cause I'm saying pulling off Georgia last time, that was a push your whole pile into the table, especially since that was the second go around with Stacey Abrams. Yeah, they done.
The thing is, one thing I can admit though, I'm not gonna lie, I can admit they implemented Stacey Abrams pretty well for her to actually change the whole state of Georgia from red to blue to vote. I have to say that's pretty damn genius.
But just the thing though, she kind of didn't. They think what happened was they figured a lot of red people didn't vote. Then the ones who did, they figured out how to mess with their ballots.
Yeah.
So it looked like the whole state red and blue, but again, if you really went back and counted all them ballots, it didn't. Because again, if the whole thing ran blue, why Stacey ain't make it?
Oh, you know why Stacey didn't make that shit?
Because black men didn't vote for her. Black men didn't vote for her because she act like they wouldn't.
That and also too, like nobody wasn't really feeling her like that.
That's what I'm talking the men. Because if you look at it, yeah, okay, let me put to y'all like this. If all of this, you know what I'm saying, and all the black people gonna vote for Kamala and this and all that, Obama won because all the black people, the black men and the black women voted for him, and he got a large majority of white women. That's what did it for him. So if you come with, you know what I'm saying, this now, and all the black women vote for Kamala, but the black men don't, and then the white women, you know what I'm saying, vote with their men like they did when Trump ran against Hillary, because that's what the hell happened. They was on TV talking about we hate Trump, but when they took their ass to that damn poll, they was in there hitting that damn Trump like their husbands told them to. But they was like, bitch, if you don't, we ain't gonna have no money. Like the fucking around with Obama,
the main demographic with women
how they wanted, and their money was messed up. They was like, bitch, I told you. Now, if you want to get back right, we need to be dealing with Trump. They was like, "Yo, I'm sick of these million years. Let me listen to what he talk about," and they got their money back. So they don't learn their damn lesson. Quit letting them fool you. Oh, this Becky's for Kamala and all it's bullshit. When they get to that poll, they's voting red. Because they want their money.
They want to keep, basically also too, they want to basically please their husband. So whatever the husband vote, that's what they voting to.
Exactly, because the husband was like, look, I let you vote how you wanted to, and you voted for Obama, and we was over here broke. Listen to what I'm telling you. It don't take 6 or 7 times for them to get it.
I agree.
So they don't learn. They was like, oh yeah, he said vote for Trump. Let me hit this for Trump. And their money was straight. Then, you know what I'm saying? They was like, shit, okay, we got Joe. Yeah, this ain't working. Trump back, that sound like money. They gonna be there hitting that red. Don't let them fool you. They gonna get on there. He was like, yeah, you can get on there and talk to your friends and say what you want. When you get your ass in there, because they be going together. They don't even trust them like that.
Yep.
Because they see what happens when they did what they want to do. And they like, yeah, I don't want to do that no more.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
So I don't even know. I remember black women still follow for that same old bull.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
I remember when I first seen Joe Biden, and even though I didn't know too much about him, I was like, well, let me research him first. And so when I researched, I was like, nope. I'd rather vote for the cow before I vote for him.
Right, and then everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like with the crime
none of
bill
his policies was good.
Right.
But
so that's another thing. We might have to talk about that too. The 94 crime bill. Okay, Joe wrote it. Bill signed it. He did. I'm sorry. Bill has still been the greatest president of my being able to vote. Nah, fuck that. Of my lifetime. I'm finna be damn real. I got here in 78. So I got the tailpiece of Carter. I got Reagan. I got Daddy Bush. I got Clinton. I got son Bush. I got Obama. And I got Trump and Biden. Listen. All right. So I'm the ones I've had.
For me, I gotta say Trump was probably the best president for me in my lifetime of living.
But yeah, weren't you were still a kid during Clinton, right?
Yeah, 89. Yep.
Okay, that was in college. So by the time he left, I was in the workforce. Yeah, what y'all gotta understand about politics is it's called compromise. So you got to give some and you got to, you know what I'm saying, take some. Now, Bill signed the crime bill and he later came out and said in his book he didn't want to do that because he knew it was fucked up. But he said in his mind to counteract that, because y'all say poverty increases the rate for crime, I'm gonna make this economy so good you ain't got to go out here and commit no crime. And he did just that. So, I mean, essentially, if you got fucked up in the crime bill under Clinton, that's because that's what you wanted to do, not because you didn't have no other choice. You could literally quit your job on Monday and be working the next Monday somewhere else making more money than you was before. So there really was no reason to be getting caught up in no shit.
Yep, I agree with you there.
But see, when that's that bullshit, that's that racism, you going along with the white supremacy and all. No, I'm just telling y'all what it is. Hell, I was a kid just going into making their own money, doing what the hell they wanted to do. So if it was ever time to get fucked up and be in the midst of the crime bill, that was it. I ain't do it. I know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, especially black men that I graduated with, they ain't never get caught up. So again, the economy was so good, it was no reason to get caught up in no shit unless that's just what you wanted to do. I had cousins that was out there on the street and shit got used, you know what I'm saying, grants and stuff that Clinton put in, programs that he put in place to get out them streets, get clean, quit selling dope, went to school, all kinds of shit. Because they was like, I don't want to do this no more. I see a way out. Let me take it.
I agree.
So now Bill, he was like, it was fucked up, but I had to give it to him. But on the same flip, I wanted to try to make it as worthless as possible. But here comes Trump.
Oh, I see right now.
Yeah, so he was like, I'm trying to make that shit as worthless as possible so you can say they got it, but you ain't get to do nothing with it. But you goofy ass Negroes played right into that shit.
Yep. So
I mean, you that's politics. You got to give some, You know what I'm saying? Some you got to know which ones is worth, you know what I'm saying, holding on to, and which ones is worth letting go. You can have that, but I'm finna make this economy to where this shit y'all talk about ain't even happening no more. So you can say you got your bill, but I'm gonna make sure it ain't worth a damn thing.
Yeah.
That's how you supposed to play it.
Because I do remember once I got out of high school, it was so easy to get a job.
It was. I'm telling you, it was. Like, I did that shit 2 or 3 times. Quit and be working somewhere else making more money the next week. Like, it would be times where, like, on Thursday before I got paid, I would be putting $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 in my savings account because that's just what I didn't spend off my check.
That's bread right there.
Like,
back in those days, I know that was major paper.
I was balling.
Till you was falling.
I'm telling you, people was, you know what I'm saying, working overtime to get that, you know, and in one check they would have down payment for their house. Work another check, be done bought all the furniture. Work another check, you know what I'm saying, get a car. I'm telling you, this is how people was moving. Clinton had, I'm telling you, it was everything. But let's see what Trump's talking about. That song is copyrighted to hell and back.
Well, thank you very much to the next Vice President of the United States, JD Vance. He's doing a great job. You know, they go after JD. You know why? He's for the worker. He's for people that get out and they want to work. And frankly, they are people that have been taken advantage of, and he doesn't like it. And he's done great. He's been everything we could have expected and much more. So, JD, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you to Atlanta. I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Georgia. I love Georgia. With thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. Crazy Kamala, ultra left, you know that. She was here a week ago, lots of empty seats. But the crowd she got was because she had entertainers, and it all started to unfold when they started to leave about 10 minutes into the speech. It's very boring. I don't need entertainers. I fill the stadium because I'm making America great again. That's our entertainment. That's our entertainment, making America great again. And I have to tell you, we have thousands of people outside. And the state was terrific, but the fire marshal, I will say, could not have been better. Thank you to the fire marshal. But the school administration stopped us from getting another 500, 600, even 1,000 people in. Thousands of people were told no, and that was okay, but we could have fit another 600 people. So I don't know anything about the school. But they could have allowed more people. You got people standing outside. Look at all the people outside. They could have come in. So we're not happy. Hello out there.
Exactly.
And then they actually pushed the people very far away from the building where we have beautiful cameras set up for the overflow crowds. The administration of the school. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be sending anybody to this school. I'm not happy about it. If they're going to stand in the way of admitting people to our rally, just imagine what they're going to do on election day. We're not going to let that happen. 94 days from now, we're going to win the great state of Georgia in an epic landslide. And we're going to defeat crazy Kamala. You know, there's about 19 different ways of saying it. She only likes 3. Biden never even came close. Kamala, Kamala. No, it's Kamala. We're going to evict this radical and incompetent administration from the White House. They're destroying our country. We're going to save our country. We're going to save our country. Yesterday, it was announced that unemployment is surging with 350,000 Americans joining the unemployment rolls just last month. Tell you what, we could end up in a depression. We could end up in World War III and a depression. How about that?
No.
Could happen too. Under Harris-Biden policies, we now have the highest unemployment rate in 3 years. Just came out yesterday. Even I was surprised. Those numbers were terrible.
Was the president 3
If Harris wins this election, you will quickly have a Kamala economic crash. You're going to have a crash. You could also have a crash like in 1929, more specifically, because that's where we're headed. When we win, you will rapidly see a brand new Trump economic boom. It's going to be booming like it was 4 years ago. With your vote, inflation will stop. The illegal aliens will be turned back. They're not coming in. We got to stop them. Did you see where she's now saying, oh, we had a very good border. Oh, great. They had the worst border in the history of the world. It's all misinformation. That's all they're good at, that and cheating on elections. They're very good at that. The cartels will be crushed, crime will plummet, incomes will soar, the wars will end, and the American dream will come roaring back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before, right? Yes? Thank you. But with 4 more years of Kamala, the California socialist, you know, she destroyed San Francisco. Then she destroyed the whole state. Look at what's going on in California with your family and our country. It'll never recover. If you have any more time with these people, it's already, I'm worried about the next 3 months, if you think about it. These people are grossly incompetent. You'll end up in World War III. I'll tell you. And I hope I'm not right about that. You know, do you ever see the hats? Trump is right about everything. I don't want to be right about that. Her policies of open borders and double-digit inflation, inflation like we've never seen before. It's destroying middle-income families, working families, all families. Will demolish your life savings. 40 or 50 million illegal aliens will invade our country during the next 4 years if they're in. 40 or 50 million. Medicare and Social Security. You know, she said she wants to put everybody on health care. You know, that's wonderful. It's all wonderful. First of all, they shouldn't be told to come here. Many of them were fine where they were. But no country can sustain this. Social Security will buckle and collapse. The suburbs will be overrun with violent crime and savage foreign gangs. That's what they're doing. You know, they're sending all their gangs into the United States, right? Look, there's front row Joes. You didn't get into the front row. What happened to you? What happened? Thank you. We have front row Joes. They've been to 229 rallies. And then, look at these people. These, I call them the beautiful ladies, and you're not allowed to say that anymore. It's the end of your political career. You say beautiful.
Her. They taking advantage of all of that.
You're barely allowed to say ladies, right?
They want to be like him.
Because that could also be destructive. But they're beautiful, they're ladies, and they're great. And they've been to 216 rallies from North Carolina. They look great. Happily married. I got to talk to that.
They're right there to piss the black women off. Never mind.
Way over 200 rallies, and they're incredible people. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it. Together, we will stop Kamala Harris's nation-wrecking. I'll tell you what, when you see what she's done to our nation, she's wrecking our nation. The radicalism will take back our country from the worst administration in American history. Biden was the worst president in the history of our country. She's acknowledged to be the worst vice president in the history of our country. She doesn't have a clue. You know, if she doesn't have a teleprompter, she can't even speak. Did you see her the other night? They put a camera in her face. She can't even talk. We just went through 4 years. Let's not go through another 4 years. Can't talk. No, it's terrible. You know, by the way, I'd like to congratulate Vladimir Putin for having made yet another great deal. Did you see the deal we made? Now, look, we want to get people in. You know, we got 59 hostages. I never paid anything. They released some of the greatest killers anywhere in the world, some of the most evil killers they got, and we got our people back. But boy, we make some horrible, horrible deals, and it's nice to say we got them back, but does that set a bad precedent, Bert, right? Does that set a bad precedent, Bert? Harris has the most ultra-left-wing agenda of any presidential candidate ever in history. There's never been anybody like this. She is considered more left-wing than crazy Bernie Sanders. Look at her. She's worse than Bernie. And she happens to be really a low IQ individual. She really does. She has a very low IQ. We don't need a low IQ. President Xi of China said, oh, good, we have another one, a low IQ individual. They love dealing with low IQ. They love dealing with low IQ people, and they got him here, I'll tell you. We got them all. She is terrible. She's worse than he. I think she's worse than him. By the way, they really took it away from the guy, right? I don't feel sorry for him because he's a bad guy. You know, he's weaponized the whole thing, and nobody's ever done that in this country. But he's a bad guy. But people feel sorry for him. They did a coup. He just doesn't know it. But actually, he does know it. You know that. They said, Joe, you got 14 million votes. It's yours, but you're going to give it up. You're going to give it up right now, Joe. You're giving it up right now. No, I'm not. I was elected democratically. I was elected. No, you're giving it up, Joe. We're either going to do it the nice way or the hard way, Joe. You're getting the hell out. And it was the debate performance. So here's what happened in the debate. You know, there was the highest rated debate ever, and which was a great compliment. And as I left the debate stage, I took off because other people were entering the stage. You understand. I said, I don't want to confront other people. So we had a great debate. But as I left, CNN, I won't say who, but they said that was the single greatest debate performance I've ever seen. And this went on for 2 days. They were saying how great I was. On the third day, they didn't mention that anymore. They said he was terrible. I liked it the first way better. I made him choke. Don't kid yourself. We made him choke. He was choking like a dog. He was choking. He was choking like a dog.
He wasn't there like his brain had stopped.
And that was the end of him. I mean, that was the end from that. Then they said, okay, this was a disaster. So then they started doing interviews with people that are, you know, 100% bought. The media, the fake news media, they had some people interviewing him, like George Slopadopoulos.
Ooh, Jesus.
ABC. ABC is one of the worst, by the way. They're all sort of bad when you get right down, but ABC's bad. And they're asking him hardball questions like, where did you stay last night?
Wow.
Did you think you did well in the debate, even though you could? Did you ever see a guy in the debate, you know, they give you like 2 minutes to answer, and you want to use up, you got so much fertility in there, you want to use up every second, and he'd answer a question. You have 92 seconds left. And I kept saying, I'll take them.
Indeed, though. No,
and he said, oh. You have 92 seconds left. He goes, oh. This is not what he wanted. He left a lot of time on the board. But I went right down to the last second. I didn't want to go a little bit over because I know they'd cut me. They would have cut me. But they were very fair, actually, CNN, shockingly, honestly. They were very fair. They want to do another one. You know, we're doing one with Fox if she shows up. I don't think she's going to show up. She can't talk. She can read a teleprompter. I'd give her about a 6 on a scale of 10, 6. For talking, I'd give her less than a 1. We need people that can talk. Kamala pledged to give free taxpayer-funded health care to all illegal aliens. How do you like that idea? which will destroy Social Security. She called for the abolition of ICE. Listen, ICE, I know some people here. Two of them are really tough guys. They're fighters. They're vicious people. They're good, tough people. They don't want to work for ICE. ICE will go into a pack of MS-13 killers and thugs, and for about 2 minutes, you just see fists flying back and forth, and then they stand up and they win, and they grab them, they throw them in a paddy wagon, they get them the hell out of the country, and she's calling them the equivalent of KKK, okay? And she loves deadly sanctuary cities. By the way, all of the things you're hearing now, she's now denying. But you know, the one good thing about the internet, you press a button and you got it. Although they are trying to delete everything. You know, they changed the picture of me from a couple of weeks ago, and they really radicalized it. They changed it, you know, using AI, they changed it. They had all the people on the stage who were angry, and they were smart and sharp and very brave, and they had them all big smiles on their face. Can you believe that? They put the agents, who I have to tell you, say what you want, those people were brave. They were running to me, and the bullets were flying. The Secret Service, they were very brave. They were very brave, I can say. They were very brave. They were running at me, and they knew the bullets were going right over my head. At that point, the first one was not a good situation. Not a good situation. That was really something incredible. That was from God. That was from God. Because the chances, that was from God. For all of you non-believers, that one was for God, right? Boom. That was a close one. But I just want to say, though, they were very brave. They pounced on me. They pounced on me, and I heard those things whizzing over me. They were whizzing, and I have to say that because, you know, people take abuse, and there were mistakes made. There were mistakes made, pretty bad ones. But the bravery of that moment was incredible. And also that the sniper, the Secret Service, who's a phenomenal, talented shooter, one bullet from hundreds of yards away, if he doesn't hit his target, and he hit his target, boom. But from if he doesn't hit the target, then you have Corey and a lot of other people that are dead. Corey was great. Two other great gentlemen, warriors, great Trump people. We love them. And we thought they were going to be gone too. The doctors were incredible. They did a great job, an unbelievable job. But if that sniper, and he had 5 seconds to think. He did not know about it beforehand, by the way. He had 5 seconds. He saw the flash, and he knew what that was. And within 5 seconds, he got off his shot. One bullet, think of it, one bullet. And that was the end. Otherwise, you would have had many people dead. He did a hell of a job. And that was from a very far distance. That was from basically about triple the distance. It was a much longer shot. So we want to thank him, and we want to thank all of the people in Secret Service for their bravery, because they were very brave. I mean, this was a bad thing. Very brave. But she refuses to even say the words illegal alien or radical Islamic terrorist. She says nope. And the main thing, think of this, she wants to let mass amnesty and citizenship. She wants all illegals to have mass amnesty. Everybody can. Even criminals, because many of them that are coming in are from prisons and jails and mental institutions, insane asylums. They hate when I use Dr. Hannibal Lecter as the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Oh, they go, look at all the media back there. Look at all the fake news. That's a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fake news, Bert. But she doesn't want to get involved. Look, here's a story. When a politician says something young in life, that's where they are. That's what they believe in. Defund the police. All the things that she said, that's where she would go if she ever got the chance. She's never going to get the chance. Our country will be destroyed. She's worse than Biden. She's worse than Bernie Sanders. She's Bernie Sanders, but not as smart. That's the way I view her. I said she's a dumb version of Bernie Sanders and actually further left than him. She supports mandatory gun confiscation. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that. Would anybody mind if they came into your house and took away your gun or your guns? Oh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked to hear that. She's for taking away all of your guns. The problem is they won't take them away from the bad guy. The bad guy's not giving up the guns. The good guys are going to, oh, well, yes, ma'am, here's my gun, thank you. Now you're totally defenseless in your house. No, you can't do that. She said that a 70 to 80% tax hike is, quote, a bold idea that should be discussed. Oh, that's nice. She co-sponsored the $100 trillion Green New Scam. She wants to abolish all oil and coal and natural gas. We want to work on wind. We want to have wind blowing. She vowed to ban fracking. She wants the government to stop people from eating red meat. She wants to get rid of your cows. No more cows. No more cows. Oh, it's serious. You know, in Europe, you know, you smile and you think about it, but in Europe, they're sort of doing it. They don't want any cattle. She wants to get rid of gas-powered cars and replace them with all electric. They don't go far. They cost too much. They're all made in China. Other than that, they're fantastic. And I'm for electric cars. I have to be, you know, because Elon endorsed me very strongly, Elon. So I have no choice. But he knows. No, I am for him. I'm for him for a small slice is a slice. But you want to have gas-propelled cars. You want to have hybrids. You want to have every kind of a car imaginable. They want to go all electric. And there's no way you can ever load them up. They call them loading them. You can't load them. We're going to have to spend $9 trillion in the Middle West. You saw they built chargers. Now, a charger is a gas pump with electricity come through it. Is that good? So it's like for 8 chargers, they spent $9 billion. Is that a good deal? So at that rate, it would be $10 trillion to charge up the country. The whole thing is crazy, right, Mr. Preacher? She wants to get rid of 2 very special words to me. And I came up with this because I noticed when you went into stores, I used to go into stores. Now I wouldn't want to go into stores because they have everything under lock and key. You ever see they have bars up, they have glass up. I don't know how you can do business like that. I'd like to buy a toothpaste, please. Oh, wait till the clerk comes. You know, 25 minutes. They open this heavy glass armored door. Here's to. How the hell do you make money doing that? It used to be that if somebody robbed your store, you would be very tough about it, right? Now, Kamala started this. Anything under $1,000, you can do whatever you want. Otherwise, and these guys are sitting out there. You ever see them? They've got paper. Okay, you go ahead. Whoop, that's over that. Drop that back. Put that. There's no crime if it's less than $1,000. She's the one who started it. She is a lunatic. She wants to get rid of these 2 very special words. You remember I used to bring it up all the time in 2016. By the way, we did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016, but these are minor details. We did much better. They said, what was the difference? I said, well, we got millions of more votes, you know, as you know that too. But we're not going to let that happen again. Ready? The 2 words are Merry Christmas. She doesn't want anybody saying Merry Christmas. Now she's denying it, and then they found the tape last night. She's such a liar. She denies all this stuff. She said, I was not the border czar. She was the New York Times has a headline, border czar. She was the border czar. She was the worst border czar. She was the worst czar in history. Kamala's radical ideas belong in a San Francisco commune filled with far-left freaks, but they do not belong in the White House. They do not belong in the United States of America. This November, Georgia is going to tell Kamala that we will not let her turn America into a communist country. Remember, I used to say, we will never be a socialist country. Well, I was right. They skipped socialism. I was right. I was right. It will never be a socialist country. I'd say that. State of the Union, I said, we will not ever allow our country to be a socialist country. I was right. It's gone communist. It skipped socialism. It never stopped. The train never stopped at the socialism world, the world of socialism. Not a good one, but the world of communism is many times worse. Now that they've swapped out Biden, is he going to the Democrat convention? This is a big question. I'd like to go to watch Kamala get sworn in as they ripped it away from him. They took away his presidency. What do you think, Mr. Congressman? You had a very good speech. Didn't he make a good speech? What do you think about ripping away their socialism there? What do you think about ripping away the guy's presidency, right? No, it's not democracy. Remember the words they use? They are a threat to democracy. They've been saying that about me for 7 years. I think I got shot because of that, okay? People said, he's a threat to democracy. No, I'm the one that is saving democracy. It's true. They're a threat. Thank you. Wow. That's nice. Thank you, Marjorie. No, we're saving democracy. Wow. I'm going to use that more. I've never used that before. I'm always hitting them. I should say instead, I'm going to save democracy and get a nice pickup. It is true, though, certain phrases get amazing response, like, I will keep men out of women's sports. Now you find out I'm right. I used to use the barbells. I said, now all you have to do is look at the boxers. This young girl from Italy, a champion boxer, she got hit so hard, she didn't know what the hell hit her.
Right.
It's a person that transitioned. He was a good male boxer. Yeah. He was a good male boxer. And she didn't even go down. He hit her with 2 jabs and she said, I'm out. How crazy is it? The weightlifters are great though, because they put a 1/4 ounce here, a 1/4 ounce here. And she goes, by the way, First Lady of the United States hates when I do this. She says, it's so damn unpresidential. I said, but the people like it. Right, Marjorie? She doesn't like it. She's a very elegant woman. She doesn't like it. Should I do it, Marjorie? So, no, our First Lady, she said, you know, your speech was great, but this weightlifting thing is so unelegant. And please don't imitate him not being able to find stairs, because every time you do it, they say it was you that couldn't find the stairs. Sure. I'm very careful, because the press is among the most dishonest human beings in history. They know. Bruce knows. The great Bruce Lavelle. Stand up, Bruce. He's been with me from before I ran. He was with me in 2014, saying that guy in New York should run. He'll be great president. That was long before I even read. I didn't even know about it. I think you might have convinced me to run. I don't know. Some of these people, you know, some people have been with me long before I ran. They would say Trump should run. That we had Romney. Remember Romney? And they did polls. Romney and Paul Ryan, what a combination that was. Whoops, there we go off Fox. Fox just won it. No, Paul Ryan's on the board of Fox. What a mistake that was. But they had Romney and Paul Ryan. What a team that was. They got clobbered. They got clobbered. The choice of this election could not be more stark. On the one hand, you have a radical left freak. You have a candidate who is fake, fake, fake. On the other hand, you have a president who will fight, fight, fight for America. Fight, fight, fight. I will, I promise. I will. By the way, the fire marshal, I love him. Could the school people allow, there's some seats right up there. They could let him come in. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Let the people come in. They're standing outside, thousands of them. Let them come in. It's obviously, Marjorie, a very liberal school, I guess, right? I'm not happy with the school. Let them come in. They're standing. It's 95 degrees out. Let them come in. There's some seats. But they got thousands of people. They won't let them in. A Harris presidency. You know why? Because they don't want to show that we're successful. That's all it is. They don't want to show. She has to go get entertainers. They start leaving as soon as she opens her mouth. Well, Hillary used to do that too. I remember she got Bruce Springsteen. I'm not a fan, I'm not a huge fan. I have a bad trait. I only like people that like me. Yeah? Does that make sense? And these people like me, Bert, right? These people like me. No, Hillary used to do it all the time. She got the idea from Hillary. Hillary got Bruce Springsteen, I'll never forget. And the place was pretty full. Not full like our places are full. And I don't have a guitar. But our places are bigger. We get more people than anybody. I don't care how many guitars they have. In New Jersey, we had 107,000 people come. Nobody has that. Nobody. In Alabama, we had 68,000 people. In South Carolina, we had 82,000 people. That had closed up the whole state. We even did one in the South Bronx in New York. Rough place, but boy, it was love. 25,000 people. It was love. It was love. But I'll never forget that Hillary, and they were all saying, oh, she drew, 25,000 people or something. Then he finished with the concert. She starts speaking, and everyone's leaving. I said, that's not working out so good. That's not working out, right? But I don't know. You have to be real. If people show up, people show up. To do that, I don't know. There's something pretty phony about it. But she had somebody. Who did she have? Who was the entertainer that she had, Yeah, that's what I think. By the way, the entertainer couldn't fill the place either. Even with the help of the school's trying to get students, please go. This is embarrassing to us. Please go. No, wasn't Hillary a beauty when I campaigned against her? She said, look at him, just look at those words he uses. He will start wars. No, I had no wars. I got rid of ISIS, 100% of ISIS, but that was already started. I was the one that had no wars, first time in 80 years. In California, Harris was the original Marxist prosecutor. She was in the role of Fannie Willis. Has anybody ever heard of Fannie Willis? Fannie Willis is a good friend of your governor. You know that? Your governor. I'm not a fan of your governor, but she was in the role of Fannie Willis or Larry Krasner, George Gascon, Alvin Bragg of New York. Oh, he goes after me. He goes after me because of the Justice Department. Never happened before. The DA of San Francisco, Harris, shielded illegal alien crack dealers from deportation. She wouldn't let them be deported. She fought like hell. She wouldn't arrest criminals of the worst kind. She wouldn't arrest murderers. She wouldn't arrest anybody. The state has gone to hell. Gavin Newsom is the worst, one of the worst. Gavin Newsom. But she was the one that started it. She ruined San Francisco, ruined California. As California Attorney General, she defined and redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person raped as nonviolent. These were nonviolent crimes. We shouldn't even prosecute these people. To help spring child predators and dangerous criminals out of prison all over the state. And during the left-wing riots of 2020, you saw that, she urged her followers to donate to bail rapists and murderers out of jail while saying that the violent mobs should not stop. They should not stop. She said she was endorsing to fund the police, and she said, violent mobs, let the violent mobs keep going. Let them keep going. We love what they're doing. We love what they represent. This is the lunatic that the fake news is trying to build up to be the next Margaret Thatcher. You know, 4 months ago, she was considered grossly incompetent by the fake news. Now they're saying, oh, isn't she wonderful? Isn't she wonderful? No, she's not wonderful. So we have to work hard to define her. I don't want to even define her. I just want to say who she is. She's a horror show. She'll destroy our country. For years, she has pushed legislation to strip police officers of any protection. They have no protection. Anything they do, they get sued, they go bankrupt, they lose their house, they lose their family, they lose their pension. They ruin their lives. They want to ruin their lives. She was the worst at ruining police officers. And by the way, I have the endorsement of virtually every police organization in the United States. Almost every. And when I'm president of the United States, again, we will never defund the police. We will only overfund. We're going to overfund the police if we have to. I will always give our law enforcement heroes the protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. And like other Marxist DAs, and she was the first of them. She was horrible. She was horrible. She had a very good friend named Willie Brown. I liked Willie Brown. He knows more about her than anybody's ever known. He could tell you every single thing about her. Could tell you stories that you're not going to want to hear. Like other Marxist DAs, Kamala supports abolishing cash bail, which means bloodthirsty criminals that just killed somebody can immediately leave custody, go out and kill somebody else, which by the way, they often do. Under these kinds of woke radical left policies, Atlanta is like a killing field, and your governor ought to get off his ass and do something about it. Just a few weeks ago, 2 13-year-old boys were murdered and an 11-year-old was shot while sitting outside their house in southwest Atlanta. In June, a 47-year-old man, a 69-year-old woman, and a 70-year-old woman were shot in the middle of the day, shot right through the head in the food court of Peachtree Center. What a nice name. In downtown Atlanta, where you can't even walk anymore. The shooter had been previously arrested 11 times, but they think it was 24 times. He'd gone to prison for assault and armed robbery many times. Since I was president, aggravated assaults in Atlanta are up 17%, and there's a 20% increase in shoplifting and a 90% increase in overall crime. Murders are up massively. Murders, you go to the store, I want to buy a loaf of bread, darling. You come back, ma'am, I'm sorry, but your husband's been killed. He went for bread across the street. He's been shot to death, ma'am. Nationwide, there's been a 43% increase in violent crime since I left office, including a 58% increase in rape, 89% increase in aggravated assault, and a 56% increase in stone cold robbery. July 4th weekend in Chicago, 117 people were shot. 100, I'm not talking about I'm talking about shot. Not aimed at and missed, but I can guarantee you that number was big. But 117 people were shot. Of the 117, 17 died. Many are going to be incapacitated. They're going to be working for the rest of their lives just to move. Many are paralyzed. Many of those people are paralyzed right now. Nobody ever talks about that. So 117 people shot, 17 died, many very seriously hurt for the rest of their lives. If Kamala wins, it will be crime, chaos, and death all across our country. We're going to have just the opposite. You know, it's up to the governors and the mayors to run things, but with Minnesota, which was a disaster, Minneapolis, the crimes. Remember the CNN reporter? This is a friendly riot. Oh, please, I'd rather not use the word riot. This is a friendly get-together. And behind him, the whole city is burning down. Remember that? Remember, it was like the flames were going like for miles. And then he got hit on the knee with something. I think it was a hand grenade that didn't go off. Remember him with the shaved head? Ding, 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 shaved his head. How do I look? Great. Then he goes down, a hand grenade hits him. How do I look, darling? Oh, you look great. They call it the summer of love, remember? They took over Seattle, 20%. If I didn't have the soldiers ready to go that morning, that Seattle would still be occupied. They actually took over a large percentage of Seattle. Portland, what they did with Portland, you know, I was in the real estate business. I love storefronts, beautiful bronze. I love bronze and beautiful everything. Storefronts, so beautiful. In Portland, you know what they have a storefront? Their storefronts have been so decimated. They use old 2x4s with a wooden door. No glass, no windows. It's the worst looking avenue I've ever seen because, and I spoke to people that have shops there. They don't have them anymore. They've all fled. But the few people that remain, they have wooden storefronts made out of old lumber. And they said, no, anything we put up, including this, will be knocked down the next time. And it happens on a weekly basis. And nobody does anything about it. If I didn't bring out, they knew the military was coming in the next day in Seattle. If they didn't know that, and they fled, they all said, oh, it's about time to get it. You know, when they were doing monuments in Washington, Marjorie knows this. I got an old bill because I doubt we could ever get Congress to pass one like this. And they were trying to rip down monuments. And then it was Abraham Lincoln. They were going to rip down the monument to Abraham Lincoln. They were ripping down other monuments. They didn't care who it was. They just wanted to destroy our country. And I took this old bill from 1889. Today, you wouldn't have the guts to sign a thing like that, although they should. They should make it even tougher. And it said, if you desecrate or even touch a monument in any way, shape, or form, you go to jail for 10 years, and there's no shortened sentence. There's no shortened sentence. There's no like you get 9 years off for good behavior. No, it's 10 years and you're not allowed to even do that. No judge is allowed to do it. In fact, it was so old when I had I'm saying, this is an old sucker. This thing is old. But I reinstituted it. It was so severe, frankly, that they didn't use it. And then I had a press conference, remember, and I announced anybody, and people were, you know, doing lassos of those gorgeous horses and all the things up there. And yet you saw it the other day. They were doing it again in Washington, D.C. with spray paint into limestone and granite. You know, the limestone, it's a very porous stone. I was very good at this. I was a builder, as you may have heard. And the limestone, that paint goes in there, sucks. In 100 years, you'll see that. There's nothing you can do. It just goes right in. It's very, very porous. It's sand, basically. Beautiful sand, beautiful lions, beautiful monuments, the bells and everything, desecrated. And I wonder what happened to those people. Probably nothing, right? Probably nothing. What they did tremendous damage. They did tremendous damage. But so I announced this bill, and the bill, I had a press conference to announce it. And I said, 10 years for anybody even touching any of our beautiful monuments. You know what happened? It was a beautiful sight. I saw thousands of asses, only the back, walking out of town. Some were running. They didn't want to do anything. They just wanted to get the hell out of town. And that was the end of the problem. We didn't have any more problem. We had no more problem after that. There was no problem. And that was the end. You didn't hear about it after that, Mr. Congressman, did we? Collins, good speaker he is. He's got a future. Does he have a future, Marjorie? I don't know. Got the look. He's got the hair. Good job. I watched. Good job. We will restore law and order to America. We will bring back public safety to the great state of Georgia, which is doing very badly in that way. And on day one, we will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send the illegal aliens back home, and we'll do it very quickly. For 3.5 years, Border Czar Harris, and again, she refuses to acknowledge that she was the border czar. She was the worst manager we've ever had, ever. And by the way, all of the people in charge of the border, they've all endorsed me. They said he was the greatest president we've ever had. Tom Homan, you know, Brandon Judd, all of those guys, they've all endorsed me. And they said, she's the worst, I mean, it's hard for them to say that, but, you know, they said there's never been anybody so incompetent. For 3.5 years, Border Czar Harris has allowed terrorists and criminals to pour across our wide open border. And now she's denying it. You can't fall for it. Disinformation. Deny for a year. We'd never done, nothing happened. We were great. We were so tough. And some people will start to believe it, you know? They use the word brainwash. Did you ever hear the word brainwash? Mitt Romney's father used that word. It wasn't good when he used that word. It destroyed his career. But they were brainwashed. Some people they hear it over and over again, how bad they were, and they say how great a job they did. They did great, they did great. They say it again and again, and all of a sudden people, and don't forget, it's not their main thing. They're accountants, they're lawyers, they're taxi drivers, they're carpenters, they're electricians. They hear it over and over again. All of a sudden they say, she was really great on the border, wasn't she? No, she was a disaster. She has destroyed our country. We're going to bring it back, but she has destroyed our country. She's incompetent. They're coming from South America. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from Africa and the Middle East, from prisons and jails. They're coming from all over the world. They're not just coming from South America. Everyone thinks, oh, South America, they want to vote in Spanish and they're like, but by the way, we are doing better with the Hispanic population, I think, now than they are. So that's not working out too well. But they're coming from all over the world, not just South America. They're coming from the Congo in Africa. A lot are coming from the Congo, from prisons. Where do you come from? The Congo. Oh, what's your address? We live in prison. What did you do? Murder. Oh, welcome to the United States of America. It's lovely to have you. The only good thing is, I say this all the time, these people are so violent and vicious that are being brought into our country. They're so violent, so vicious, that they make our gang members and bad people and criminals look like the nicest people on earth. So when we see an MS-13, some person now, we say, well, they're not that bad. These are the worst people anywhere in the world coming into our country. They're coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing can be made of it. And they're actually trying to get them to sign up and vote. They don't even speak the language. They don't even know where the hell they are. They want them to sign up and vote. And we have the head of our great Republican Party here, and he is not letting it happen wherever you may be. Right? Wherever you may be. Doing a great job. You know that, right? They're coming in and they're trying to sign them up. Because I used to say, like, only two reasons this could be happening. They hate our country or they're stupid. Well, they're not stupid because anybody that can cheat on elections that good is not stupid. And they do, I really believe they do to a certain extent hate our country because, you know why? But I never really talked about the third reason because it's so sinister. But they want to sign these people up to vote. And if they do that, this country is destroyed. We become a dumping ground for the entire world, and we're not going to take it anymore. Just a few months ago, right here in your state, I met with the devastated family, what a beautiful family, of Laken Riley, the brilliant 22-year-old nursing student, top of her class, who was out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia when she was assaulted, beaten, and horrifically killed. Her family was, I mean, look, they'll never be the same, incredible family. Kamala Harris let in the savage monster who murdered Laken Riley. He was an illegal alien who was in Border Patrol custody, but under Harris's policies, instead of being deported immediately and fast, he was set free into America. Please enjoy your stay. Laken's blood is on Kamala Harris's hands, and she was in charge of the border. But there are many, many people like that. Laken is not the only one. Kamala is responsible for the death as though she was standing there watching it herself. She was responsible, and for so many more. 3 days after releasing Laken's killer into the United States, Harris went on television and lied to the American people, saying the border is secure. Quote, the border is secure. What kind of a politician lies to Americans about keeping the border open while precious young girls are being assaulted and killed? And Laken is one where the press was, very strong on it, but there are thousands of people that are being killed and being criminalized and victimized by these people that are pouring into our country. I call it migrant crime. We now have migrant crime in our country. It's a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's vicious, and it's really bad. Kamala Harris should not be asking for your vote. She should be begging Laken Riley's family for forgiveness, and Joe Biden never would mention her name. You remember when Biden wouldn't mention her name, then all of a sudden, because Laken was really,
PC.
that was a big deal. That was a very horrible, just horrific. And he wouldn't mention her name, and then he finally did it, and he called her the wrong name. Lincoln, right? Called her Lincoln. Good coach, Lincoln Riley, good coach. Maybe that's where it came from, but called her Lincoln. And he was so bad, such a bad precedent. Such a bad president, and precedent was set by having him as a president. He was a disaster for this country. You get angry talking about it because it's almost impossible to believe you can be that bad. You know, people like certain people, and I understand it. They could have different beliefs, different policies. Like Ronald Reagan, he had something special about him. There was an aura, right? I didn't agree with him on trade. I didn't think he was as good on trade as he could have been tougher on trade, but he had something special. They all, but this last group, there's nothing they have nothing. I call him Crooked Joe for a reason. He's crooked. I also call him Sleepy Joe. He's sleepy, he's crooked, he's incompetent, he's dumb.
For the people.
And she's worse. If Harris wins, a never-ending stream of illegal alien rapists, MS-13 animals, and child predators will flood into your communities. If I win on day one, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history. Have no choice. We have no choice. No country can sustain this. We have no choice, and we will immediately expel every single criminal that Baltazar Harris has allowed into our country. No country can sustain it. In a recent CBS poll, 62% of Americans support large-scale deportation, and others are saying it's 83%, 85%, including 53% of Hispanic voters because they see what's happening. By the way, the Hispanic voter and me have like this special relationship. I understand them. They're very entrepreneurial, very smart, but they also understand security better than anybody. And they don't want to have murderers released into our country. They don't want, it's very interesting. When I built, I built massive amounts of the wall. The wall was incredible. We built it, and hundreds of miles of wall. And they wanted it more than anybody because it worked. You know, remember I used to say 2 things work. Everything else is obsolete after 2. You do a new computer, in about 3 weeks it's totally obsolete. Nobody wants it. 2 things have never been obsolete: wheels and walls. Wheels work and walls work. And you have a lot of different things becoming obsolete, but the wheel and the walls work. Harris wants to be the president for criminals and illegal aliens. I will be the president for law-abiding Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. And it's no wonder the Democrat Party and their thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones who are going to be able to stop them. Nobody else is going to be able to stop these lunatics. All of their persecution of me is only happening because I am running for president and leading very big in all of the polls. If I wasn't running for president, I could be vacationing next to one of the many beautiful oceans of the world as the waves come in. Beautiful, but it's boring. I'd rather be with you, figuring out this mess that we've gotten ourselves into. We're going to figure it out. We've got it figured out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we have two things we have to do. We have to vote, and we have to make sure that we stop them from cheating, because they cheat like dogs. I don't know if you've heard, but the Georgia State Election Board is in a very positive way. This is a very positive thing, Marjorie. They're on fire. They're doing a great job. 3 members, Janice Johnson, Rick Jeffries, and Janelle King. 3 people are all pit bulls fighting for honesty, transparency, and victory. They're fighting. Are they here? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Thank you. What a job. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. But we have a couple of other members that aren't so good. We have some that aren't so good, but these 3 are really doing the job because they don't want to see this happen. That will destroy our country. They just passed a rule for Georgia elections requiring that 3 people at each precinct independently count the total number of ballots before certification. Who could be against that? Who could be against it? Thank you, Janice, very much. That's really amazing. Thank you all. Thank you all. Those are great people. I'd say brave, but I mean, to you, it's like that you got to do what you have to do, right? It's not like a question of brave. They said I was brave 2 weeks ago. I had to do what I had to do. It's not like brave, right? It's just we do the right thing. Go. Thank you. My courage was contagious. Well, your courage is contagious, too. Thank you. Thank you. Nice. It's amazing. People want it. That's what they want. Thank you, Janice. That's great. And those 3 people are incredible. Let me give you the bad news. It's that for whatever reason, Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp, your governor, who I got elected, by the way. If it wasn't for me, he would not be your governor. I think everybody knows that. He's a very disloyal person, isn't he? Very disloyal. But these 2 are doing everything possible. Plus, your attorney general would like to see him show up and do something. Right? I mean, look at the love and adulation and applause, because this is like a poll. This is like a poll. We have thousands of people. That's better than going out and paying $500,000 to have some pollster go out and poll 212 people. Look at this. Look at the love they have for Janice. That's what people want. They want to have honest elections, and they want to have strong borders, you know? Very simple. But your governor, Kemp, and Raffensperger are doing everything possible to make 2024 difficult for Republicans to win. What are they doing? I don't know. They got something in mind, you know? They got a little something in mind. Kemp is very bad for the Republican Party. He wouldn't do anything. You know, we have Bert Jones over here. We have Bert Jones. All he wanted in the Senate was to have a special resolution passed, and it was all done. Every senator wanted it. Every Republican wanted it. And we have Senator Beach here someplace too. Where is Senator Beach? Oh, I can't forget him. We can't forget him. A warrior, you know that, and many others in this group. But all they wanted was to have just a special, we want to go over the election. We want to look because there's too many things. And the governor wouldn't sign it. And I knew he would because I got him elected. I sent a young guy over to his office. Would you please have him sign this? And the kid came back. He said, sir, he won't sign. Of course he will. I got him elected. Give me a break. Of course he will. No, he wouldn't. And then I said, well, go back over. Tell him it's for me. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. They want to look into possible election fraud. Wouldn't you say, Senator, that's a good thing, right? They want to look into election fraud. Comes back, sir, I said it was for you. This was a few years later after I won him the election. Don't forget, I endorsed him, and you had a very good man, Casey Cagle, your lieutenant governor. He was going to win easily. And David Perdue, where's David? I love David, but that was his only mistake. He said, sir, would you endorse a friend of mine, Brian Kemp? I said, who's Brian Kemp? He said, he's a friend of mine, sir. And Sonny came too. This was probably the only mistake of David's life. That was a beauty, David. Thanks, David, I appreciate it. And I endorsed this guy. He was like way down on the list. He was doing terribly. And he immediately, you know, my endorsement means a lot, and I'm very careful with it. And I endorsed him, and he won in a landslide. And then he said, I can't beat Stacey Abrams. I can't beat her. She's going to be too tough. And she felt that too, by the way. She still feels it. You know, she's constantly saying she won the election. She can say it, but I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to say it. And Michaela, I love you, Michaela. I'm in love with Michaela. Please explain that to Melania. Please explain that to our First Lady. You're fantastic. Now, you are a special person. But I endorsed him, and then she said, I can't beat Stacey Abrams. He said that, and his wife said it too. I said, well, you won the nomination, so let's do some big rallies. And I did them out at an airport, massive rallies, 55,000 and 52,000. There may have even been a third, I don't know. I remember 2 monster rallies. And I said, you're going to win. He said, I don't think so, sir. I said, no, you're going to win. I'm telling you, I can tell the vibe of the people. I'm like, I think, David, 287-0 in the last 12 months with endorsements. People respect my endorsement, and I respect them, and I love them. I love them. But so I did these 2 big rallies, and he won. He did win. He won by like 2%. And his wife looked at me and said, thank you, sir. We'll never, ever be able to repay you for what you did. You got my husband the nomination, and then we beat somebody who was unbeatable. You know, she was, in theory, unbeatable. She was the hottest politician in the country at the time. Democrat politician, I would say I was hotter because I was president. So I was hotter than I'm only kidding, Marjorie. I'm only kidding. Although maybe I'm not kidding, actually. No, she was like the hottest, certainly the hottest Democrat politician in the country. And she was going wild for years. She's still going wild. She can't even believe it. But I got him by doing massive rallies. And I really worked hard. He's the most disloyal guy I think I've ever seen. But think of the wife. We can never repay you for what you've done, sir. We could have never won. And now she said 2 weeks ago that I will not endorse him because he hasn't earned my endorsement. I haven't earned her endorsement. I have nothing to do with her. Somewhere he went bad. And you know what? Your numbers in Georgia are very average. Your crime numbers, your economic numbers, all of your numbers, you're very average. You can do a lot better, and you'll do a lot better with a better governor. You can do a lot better, just so you understand. But I don't want her endorsement. I don't want his endorsement. I just want them to do their job for Georgia. And you know what? He's the governor. He ought to support his Republican Party, because if he doesn't have his Republican Party, I could tell you where he came from, and it wasn't good. And you have a great leader of the Republican Party right here. Stand up, please. He has done an unbelievable job. And he has to work like hell with a governor that doesn't help him. And Raffensperger ought to make sure that the vote is honest. And they don't want the vote to be honest. In my opinion, they want us to lose. That's actually my opinion. And we can't let that happen, because if we lose Georgia, we lose the whole thing and our country goes to hell, because we can't have her be president of the United States. She's grossly incompetent. We can't let that happen. They're the ones, don't forget, who got Fani Willis and her lover boy boyfriend all jazzed up. This guy, the governor, you know what? She's an embarrassment to the state of Georgia. He's the governor of Georgia. He ought to do something. Many, many people, their lives have been, forget about me, many people, I'm used to it. It's true. I'm used to fake crap that goes on with these politicians. But many, many people, their lives have been destroyed because of Fani, F-A-N-I, Fani. You have to pronounce it Fani. It's called Fanny. You have to pronounce Fani. I don't know how she gets. She should add a little U in there someplace if she wants people to call her. No, her and her lover, right? Lover boy Wade.
You just clowning.
She hired him because of experience. Paid him almost $1 million a year for experience. He's got great experience. He never did a thing like this in his life. He knew nothing about it. The only thing he knew about was something else. He knew about that. That's all he knew about. He didn't know a damn thing. Do you know him? Have you ever met him? Yeah, a couple of times. You ever see the phone records, phone calls being made at 3 o'clock in the morning, like every single night, phone call from her house? And he said, no, not well. I don't know her well. No. And this governor, I assume, I don't know, he could straighten it out because his state has become a laughingstock over it. And you know what? I love this state. I won this state twice, in my opinion. Once I won, and I did much better the second time. And Bert knows it, and Beach knows it, and everybody else knows it. He could have ended the travesty with a phone call because I did nothing wrong, and neither did all of those good people that are being persecuted. People in their 80s, they signed something, you know, because they see what's going on. I guarantee if I took a vote of this audience, if I said, what do you think? I won't do that. You know, they'll come and indict you if you say that, right? Now, they can say it. Stacey Abrams can say that she won the election is fine. But if we say we won the election, and we did, that's not fine. We can't do it. Hillary Clinton is still complaining about the election, even though she called me up that night and conceded. But Hillary Clinton is constantly complaining about it. Nothing happens to her. We have two sides of justice, and we can't do it anymore. We have to get back to making America great again. We don't have time for this nonsense. I mean, Fani wanted to indict a certain U.S. senator who had nothing at all. He's saying, why are they calling me? I won't use his name because I don't want to hurt him. But she wanted to indict, and somebody along the way stopped her from doing it. She had many, many more people. She was going to indict almost everybody that came into the state for a visit. But Kemp doesn't want to end it because he's a bad guy, he's a disloyal guy, and he's a very average governor. Little Brian Kemp, bad guy. But think of it. I got this guy, just think, and then that's it. I got this guy nominated, I then got him elected. Without me, he doesn't get nominated and he doesn't get elected. He had no chance of winning either one, and all he had to do is sign something where the Senate would like to look at election integrity. This is an honest man. That's an honest man. They were all honest. They were looking at something very legitimate. And this bad guy said, I'm sorry, sir. I can't do it. I called him and I said, Brian, they're looking at election integrity. Is there anything you can do? I'm sorry, sir. I can't get involved in that. I said, but Brian, you don't understand. This is a good thing, not a bad thing. I'm sorry, sir. I can't get involved. I've had you up to here, Brian. I've had you up to here. He's a bad guy, and he's not doing this country a good service. People are looking at Georgia with Fani. and her lover and all of the other things, saying, what the hell is going on in Georgia? What the hell is going on? The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to let them rig the presidential election in 2024. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communist fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. I do. Because I'm being indicted for you. You know, my father and mother are looking down. They were great people. They're saying, my son got indicted like 4 times. Al Capone didn't get indicted 4 times. He would kill you if he didn't like your look. If you looked at him in the slightly, that's a nice shirt. Scarface, Al Capone, the most evil man. He didn't get indicted like Trump. I got indicted for what? I'm protesting an election that was rigged. This guy didn't get indicted. My father would say, but Alphonse Capone didn't get indicted. He killed hundreds of people. If he took you out for dinner, even you, see you two guys, would you stand up with the MAGA black, please? Stand up, please. Look at these 2 guys. Who the hell is gonna mess? Who's gonna mess with them? MAGA black. MAGA black. I love them. I like them better than you, Bruce. Now, those are 2 tough cookies. But if Alphonse Capone didn't like you because you insulted him slightly at dinner, that was the end of you fellas, I have to tell you. And he didn't get like me. Think of it. How crazy is the world? And thank you for being here. You're good-looking guys. Better looking than Bruce, I'll tell you right now. Much. Stand up, Bruce. Never forget, thank you. But never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. So I want to introduce a few warriors, if I could, please. And they're incredible people. They really are. And, you know, every night I do this where I get in trouble because I'm always leaving somebody out. I'm leaving a congressman out. I'm leaving a guy. It's brutal. So I end up going on the internet and thanking him, and I love him and all the stuff, or her. But, you know, it's always tricky. But I know these are people that are here, and I want to just thank them for joining us. Your great Lieutenant Governor, who's really great, Bert Jones. And his father is here. You know, his father's a legend he's a legend, literally, in Georgia as an incredible politician. And then he left. He didn't lose. He left, and he went into business, and he's been tremendously successful. He really is a legend. His name is Bill Jones. Does anybody know Bill Jones? Bill? Where is Bill? Good. I saw him backstage. He's fantastic. Representative Mike Collins. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Where is the preacher that was back there talking to me? Where is he? Huh? Because he went with your father. Oh, your father's smart. I always said that. Stays with those preachers. Rick Allen and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thank you, Rick. Thanks, Rick. Great job, Rick. Thank you, Marjorie. You know, I've known Marjorie from the beginning, and she's an amazing political person. I don't like to say politician. She's beyond that. She's really loved and respected by so many people. And in Washington, when she calls, they get very nervous. Oh, please. She's fantastic. So I thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. And a future congressman, he'll be one of your best. He's been with me for 8 years. And, you know, he always wanted to be a congressman. Then his district opened up, and he said, do you think I could do it? I said, you have my complete and total endorsement. Brian Jack. Brian Jack. Great guy. He's going to be a great congressman. And it's what he wanted to be. And he's fantastic. You guys are going to love Brian, right, Marjorie? You're gonna... Also, we alluded to him and talked about him, but I'm going to talk about him very positively. He was really a great senator. He was a great man in so many different ways. He was respected more than anybody. I mean, everybody respected him in Washington. Very successful businessman that he ran for office, a little bit like the Trump schedule of events. But he was really a fantastic person in Washington, somebody that I was very close to, David Perdue. David, thank you. Doug Collins, will you stand up? Come on. How good was this guy? That's fantastic. See, I'm glad I spotted him. I would have been in big trouble if I didn't mention him. I'm glad. You know, they give me a few names. Who the hell writes these lists out? These people, somebody's getting me in big trouble. It wasn't that way when I had Brian Jack doing this, I'll tell you. I got lucky. And I see somebody that I know very well, one of the truly great members of the Martin Luther King family, one of the greats. Will you please stand up? I didn't see you. My friend from the beginning, I would have been in such trouble. If I didn't mention you, I would have been in big trouble. Thank you, darling. One of the truly great people. And been with us from the very beginning, I would say, right? Very beginning. Thank you, darling. Boy, am I glad I'm looking over this audience. I don't like this. I'm telling you, this would not have happened if Brian Jack were doing it, which he did for many years. Agriculture Commissioner has done a fantastic job. Tyler Harper. Tyler, thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you. And John King, Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner. John, thank you. Great job, John. Labor Commissioner Bruce Thompson. Bruce? Thank you, Bruce. Public Service Commissioners, Bubba. I love Bubba McDonald. I love that name. I want to change my name. And Fitz Johnson. Thank you both. Thank you both. And Elvita. Good. They did have your name down, Elvita. I would have been in trouble if I didn't pick, but I picked it even with. And Richard Wood, Superintendent of Schools, who I hear does a great job. Richard, thank you. Thank you, Richard. Pastor Benny Tate of the Rock Springs Church. Benny, thank you. Bernie Carrick. Does anybody know Bernie Carrick? Where's Bernie? Stand up, Bernie. He's the cleanest man in this room. You know that. Bernie's a great guy. He was a great commissioner in New York. He's a fantastic man. A well-known local artist with a beautiful painting, Art Lanta. Where is Art? Oh, wow. That is beautiful. Wow. That is beautiful. I wasn't going to bring him up. Then I saw the painting. I said, come on up, because maybe he'll give it to me. Wow. Come on up. That's okay.
Uh-oh.
Is that good?
For real. Real purple.
Thank you very much. Wow, that's fantastic. Wow.
Oh, yeah. About to get some business.
Good. That's a real artist. I brought him up because I thought he was going to give it to me. He didn't give it to me. He just got me to sign it. I got nothing out of that. Hey, Michaela, I know you spoke. Just come up for a second.
That was a joke.
Come on. This young woman, I walked into, I don't know what the hell restaurant it was, but I walked into this restaurant. And we do it very quietly. We don't announce it. That's for, security reasons, everything. I walked in. She's behind the counter, and she didn't know I was coming. And she goes,
that part right there.
President Trump. She looks at me.
That part right there.
You saved my college. And I said, how the hell do you know that? She said, this one is so smart, so sharp. She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady.
You were supposed to keep that quiet.
See, now, for the average politician, that's death. For me, I don't care. I just want to tell you, you are an unbelievable person with a great personality. You lit up the whole room. You lit up the whole room. I said, weeks later, I'd go, who is that person that was so incredible? She knew everything about me. She had no idea I was coming. She knew everything about me. And the historically black colleges and universities, I gave millions and millions, billions of dollars to. They kept coming back. And I said, why are you doing this? We gave them long-term funding. And she knew that because she said her college, she loved her college. She said it was so great, right? You loved it.
The illustrious CAU.
Yeah, that's right. She loved her college, and she said, you saved my college. What was your college? Tell them.
The illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
And it was so impressive, and I felt so good because she really did. She really said, I said, did you like the college? She said, no, I loved that school. I loved that college, and that's what it's all about. But you are an incredible person. I think you have a tremendous future. I really do. And I'll do whatever I can to help you, okay? Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, I thought I was done. But I do want to add on to some of the remarks that were made by others, and we do need to do our best to get the message out there. The fight is nothing if all we do is talk about it amongst ourselves. So with that being said, since you said you'd help me, shameless plug, if y'all need anybody to knock doors, make phone calls, wave signs, get people out to the polls, call me at Conserve the Culture. Because not only do I mobilize the HBCU students so that they may get this message, but I'm the best person when it comes to black engagement in the black community. And nobody needs this message more than my folks. So do y'all care for real?
Don't let me find
Are y'all with us for real?
Some of that good HBC.
ConserveTheCulture.com for any and all inquiries. Y'all can follow me at Miss Taylor, baby. I'm going to give it back to Big T.
Don't let me find out she using that HBCU education to roll with Trump.
And last thing, make sure you guys tune in to my podcast dropping soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
She's great. Thank you. That's a great person, great woman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. From the moment we take back the White House from Kamala and Crooked Joe, and he's crooked as a $4 bill, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. Thanks to Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote here in Atlanta, you suffered the highest inflation of any city in the country last year. Good job, Governor. Great job, Governor. Under Kamala, the typical Georgia family has lost $28,000 in inflation and to inflation hikes. To bring down the prices of all goods, we will stop the Biden-Harris war on American energy. American energy is such a big deal. We will drill, baby, drill. We'll get that number down. We'll bring energy prices down. Everything else will float with it. We will terminate the Green New Scam, and I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate right on day one. It will be ended. We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips, Michaela. To further protect Georgia workers, I will revoke China's most favored nation's trade status. I will pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. If China or any other country makes us pay a 100 or 200% tariff, we will make them pay a reciprocal tariff of 100 or 200% right back. You heard us, we heard you. It's an eye for an eye. We'll take in a fortune, and they'll stop doing it before I even arrive at the Oval Office shortly after we win the presidency. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and I will prevent, and I'm the only one that's going to do it, 100% will prevent World War III, which is very close to happening.
Anybody other than him?
I will restore peace through strength, and in my next term, we will build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our country, a dome like none other, like nobody has ever seen before, and it will all be made in the USA, and much of it will be made in the great state of Georgia. And I will not cut 1 cent from Social Security or Medicare. I kept that promise 4 years ago, and I will keep it again. And seniors will not pay taxes on Social Security. We are going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. We will take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., and clean it up, renovate it, rebuild our capital city so there's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime. We're going to stop the murder and crime. You go down from your state, you end up getting mugged, murdered in our capital. It'll be run tough and strong by our great police officers, but rather we will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. I could say again, but it's been so badly run for so long, I almost don't want to say again. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the shoulders of our children. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And I will keep men out of women's sports, if that's okay. If Kamala Harris gets in, the travesty that is taking place at the Paris Olympics will come to America when we host the Los Angeles Olympics. And by the way, which I was president, we happened to get it. I was the president. I also got you a thing called the World Cup, which is coming very soon. I might as well say it myself because nobody else will say it. But I got them both, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it, I hope. Harris is a radical trans activist, and she is the candidate of letting men beat up women in the name of tolerance. But you look at what's happening over in Paris. It will never happen here. I will never let it happen. I will get all males off your daughter's soccer teams and volleyball teams and get them out of your locker rooms once and for all. That's going to be cleaned up, and we will fight to make sure that the LA Olympics protects women and protects girls. I will fully uphold the Second Amendment, and we will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech in our country. We don't have free speech any longer. And very importantly, I will, and this is so, to me, so important, what we've been through in this country, I will secure our elections. Our goal will be one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and voter ID. But until then, Republicans must win. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. Too big to rig. If you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know and vote. Vote early, vote absentee, vote on election day, do whatever you want, but you have to vote. And if you want to help us ensure election integrity, please sign up, protectthevote.com, protectthevote.com. So, in conclusion, from Marietta to Macon, from Savannah to Columbus, from Augusta to right here in Atlanta, we inherit the legacy of red-blooded American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those great, big, beautiful skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, lost its willpower, and lost its strength. We are a nation that has lost its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. With our leadership, every disaster Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have created can be fixed, and it will be fixed very quickly. Every problem can be solved, and every wrong can be rectified. By this time next year, America's borders will be strong, sealed, and secure. Inflation will be in full retreat. Our economy will be roaring back. It's going to be roaring back. Optimism will be surging. The American dream will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. Law and justice will reign all throughout our land. Freedom will be restored. The flame of liberty will be burning bright. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the worst administration in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past. And our great silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country, will be the one shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th President of the United States. Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of our country. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Georgia. God bless you all. Go
and current Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump live in Atlanta, Georgia. And apparently all of that ain't no black people in Atlanta rocking with Trump was not accurate, because it was plenty of black people in the house. Plenty of black folk was up in there today. So, best I can tell, to go back to my title, looks like Donald Trump was received well by the black by black voters in Atlanta. Best I could tell. Like he had no problems with me. I didn't see anybody getting up, leaving in the middle of his speech because he was on for quite a while. Yeah, it was black. Yeah, Eric, black men all over the place, which is important. But we actually talked about that during our coverage of the Republican National Convention. The Republicans have really made an effort to reach out and embrace black men, like for real. So kudos to them for realizing that black men have a voice and actually being interested in what they have to say. Which for the long-term strategy will work well for Republicans. You're welcome, PC. I'm always gonna bring you that information. So the Republican Party, as they stated at their convention, it's not your great granddaddy's, Republican Party. They moving forward, and ingratiating black men is definitely moving forward. That is definitely moving the needle forward. So at this point, I would have to say the Republican Party is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So Dems, we're going to see what y'all got going on starting in Chicago. But so far, it's just not looking like y'all, have realized it's time to turn the page. Y'all want to keep doing the same old. So we're going to see. Trump, he kind of he was still calm. If you know what I'm saying, put this up against his last run, and even 2016, this was tame. So he didn't go all the way in like he could have. But I am maybe he just saving it up for this debate. So y'all, I'm still gonna look into that because again, everybody was agreed to the debate, and then once ABC agreed to not host it, now supposedly Kamala don't want to do it. But like I said, I'll do some more research on that and find out exactly what's going on and let y'all know. We still got to see what's happening on the other side. We know what Trump and them talking about. So we will do Kamala. We can do a Kamala weekend review. We'll do that tomorrow around, say 4-ish. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And hit your notifications. Yeah, we've been rocking for a little while. We heard from basically all the heavy hitters of the Republican Party. Yeah, if that debate is still going to be held in South Carolina, I am doing my best to be down there. As I stated before, I'm gonna do my best to be down there. Because ain't that the day after Labor Day? I think it is though. But yeah. I have enjoyed hanging out with y'all today. I do appreciate everybody stopping through. To all my returning subscribers, I appreciate you guys for your continued support. All my new subscribers, welcome. Look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow and in the days in the days to come. Okay, you say you think so? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can make that happen. So I got people down there. Yeah. Because it's gonna be good. Yeah, I need to see it, but yeah. Last time I looked, it didn't it hadn't put out a process for trying to get a ticket. So I'm gonna go keep my eye open for that. Because yeah, that'd be one for the ages. Either way, whether I'm there live and in person or I'm here, I will be streaming, giving y'all all of the coverage. We will not be missing anything. For my new subscribers, if y'all want to see the debacle, which was him and Joe, definitely you can take a look at that on this channel as well as any of the Republican National Convention if you need to, get caught up or actually watch it. All 5 nights are there. We also need to get into this might be tomorrow morning. The press conference from the Secret Service in regards to their investigation into the assassination attempt. I haven't forgot, y'all. I just had to take my granddad to the doctor yesterday, so I was with him while that was going on live. Otherwise, I would have had that for you. But again, thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Appreciate that. I know I'm gonna do better with that. Being on camera. I'm gonna do better with that. Those of y'all who watch my regular content, y'all know I'm always on camera, but this is something different. So I just kind of had to ride the wave, so to speak. But I'll be back on camera. Let me think, is there anything else? What you say? Let's get out Black Americans and show them we're not stupid. God bless everyone, especially the liberal. Have a good day. You too. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow when we get into this press conference and the reviews of Kamala, her speeches from last week. All right, guys. I have held y'all long enough. Again, I have enjoyed each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.